Police Department began testing AI-powered software called Draft One, which automatically generates police reports from body camera footage. Now, the goal was to reduce paperwork, but the software misinterpreted the background audio, requiring the department to correct the report and explain what happened. Quote, the body cam software and the AI report software picked up on the movie that was playing in the background, which happened to be The Princess and the Frog. That's when we learned the importance of correcting these AI-generated reports. Despite the error, it said that the technology has saved 6 to 8 hours of work weekly. The department also began testing another AI system, Code 4, which generates police reports from body cam footage in an effort to reduce paperwork and keep officers in the field more.
6 to 8 hours weekly. It saves an hour a day. And then you've also got the risk of your official police report saying that the responding officer turned into a frog.
Yeah. It's a little wrinkle.
Yeah, you know.
I grew up with very popular locations named for frogs, like Senior Frogs and Hoppers.
Uh-huh.
And I was just going to look, why don't we name bars after frogs anymore? But ironically, there's a lot of them. Bullfrogs Bar and Grill in Michigan, Froggies in Pittsburgh, the Chubby Bullfrog in Illinois, Frog and the Bull in Austin, Texas, Sticky Mike's Frog Bar, and the Jolly Frog.
Where is Sticky Mike's Frog
Bar?
Bar?
That is in Brighton in the UK, in Britain.
I was going to go Key West.
The Jolly Frog in Kings Park, New York. Sounds fun, though. The Jolly Frog.
You think Sticky Mike's a character?
Wonder if Sticky Mike's was a strip club.
Yeah, the frogs took it over.
Yeah, I think the perpetrator with the lace bra would go to the Frog and the Bull.
I love these stories where when you get outed, somebody wants to blame somebody else. An Italian man taking legal action against a restaurant after a TikTok video unexpectedly revealed his alleged extramarital affair and helped end his marriage. 42-year-old man has filed a lawsuit claiming his privacy was violated when the eatery posted footage of him dining with another woman as part of a social media promotion. Now, according to the local reports, the man told his wife he would be out for a routine business dinner. Instead, he spent the evening at the restaurant on a date with a secret lover. That encounter was captured on camera by staff creating marketing content for the venue. The clip was later uploaded to TikTok without the customer's knowledge or consent. The man's wife saw the viral video soon after it went live. She quickly announced she planned to leave him, ending their marriage, and reportedly kicked him out of the house.
Oh, man.
Now, Italian consumer rights group, the Catacons, says it's seeking damages on his behalf. A rep for the organization argued that the restaurant acted unlawfully by filming patrons and sharing the material online.
Yeah, I mean, I can see both sides of this. Like, just because I come to your restaurant doesn't mean there is...
He should have got out in front of this, though. Like, go up to him, hey, I'm trying to have a nice dinner here with my wife or my friend.
Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
You know what, D? I hate being on this highway with all these 18-wheelers. I don't know what I'd do if I got in an accident with one.
First, call 911 to report the accident, and then hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney, because accidents with 18-wheelers, delivery truck, and construction vehicles are complicated. Call 1-800-229-7989 or hit them up at Shannara.com. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. We go deeper. We fight harder. We win bigger. Call me, Alabama.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
National semifinal game tonight and tomorrow night. We'll get to Ole Miss and Miami coming up here in the first segment. A lot to talk about in the college football portal. We'll start, though, with basketball. Last thing we saw last night, late-night game in Nashville. What a great atmosphere. I don't know if I've ever seen an atmosphere at a Vandy home game that good. It was a great atmosphere last night. Vandy gives it to Alabama 96-90. Storyline for Bama in that one. The first one was, even when Labaron Philon was playing early on, the guards couldn't stay in front of Tyler Tanner, who was amazing, the guard for Vandy. Sherrill didn't play. They missed him. Don't know the extent of his injury. And then when Philon wasn't there in the second half, Alabama's gutsy effort comes up short. Those were big storylines. But the fact of the matter, not a lot of big guys on the floor, and you had a lot of people just getting the basketball and slashing to the basket all night long on both ends.
I mean, crazy. Alabama shoots 37%, still scores 90 points. I mean, It was up and down. It was 43 apiece at halftime. We gave out the over last night. I told Brown when I was going to – he was like, it's not on pace. And I'm like, the way they're playing, it's on pace.
It was like 36-34, and I was like, you may need some help in the second half. And I was like, nope, I feel good.
You know when the clock's not running? When they're shooting 80-something free throws.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, that was – how many total fouls were there last night?
They only called half of them.
Yeah, there was
I mean, seriously. Both ways. I mean, they could have –
64 fouls called.
They could have called 100.
Yeah.
Because that was that much hacking and nobody was setting their feet trying to get in front of a defender who was slashing to the basket. Any one of those drives to the basket, you could have called a foul because everybody's feet still moving, trying to play defense there.
Well, we got an answer. Vanderbilt's pretty good. I mean, look, it's a one-game gauge against a ranked opponent finally. But, for them to go out and put up 96, I know it was at home, but Mark Byington, what he's done in year 2 at Vanderbilt, it's pretty incredible.
What did you think of Tyler Tanner?
I mean, look, that guy, the way he moves with the ball.
He seemed to be one step faster, that first step, than anybody on the floor.
Yeah, and look, his ability to, draw fouls, get to the line 15 times last night. Tremendous player. Only a sophomore, small guy.
He is small.
But that's one of those guys that probably, if you keep him, you don't have to worry about him going to the NBA. So you got him for 4 full years.
Yeah. And they were physical enough under the boards when Alabama couldn't match that under the boards, and with no Sherrill out there, that they controlled enough of the paint around there. I thought Alabama was gutsy with everything going on.
I'm telling you, Maury Allen is going to be –
he's a stud.
Yeah, he really is. And this is a guy, what was it, 3-star coming out?
Yeah, 25 points for him last night to lead the way. I thought Holloway got tired late. He missed a couple of free throws. I don't know if that's a bad habit in practice, but Taylor Bowen did it after he missed the first free throw and then threw it back up at the basket, and they warned him about delay a game. And then Aiden missed the first one and threw it back at the basket and got a technical. Between that technical and the one Nate got, those
terrible basketball IQ.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? That's one of those. If you're playing a game of 21, playground, people are going to get pissed off at that.
That's right.
How you do that, and you already got a warning earlier.
Yeah.
It's just bad basketball IQ.
Well, you just think the exhaustion level at that point, right? That they're exhausted doing something. But it was.
He only played 27 minutes.
It was a dumb thing. That's all Holloway played was 27 minutes.
He only played 27 minutes, and Nate mentioned after the game about Labaron, and I know we'll get to that. He's like, how is this guy cramping and only playing 20 minutes?
19 minutes. Yeah. I don't know how you get full body cramps in 19 minutes.
But it's hard to do.
Yeah, but
he sounded frustrated with him, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that comes back to you. I mean,
are you doing what you're supposed to do? Are you hydrating?
That's right. Are you doing what you're supposed to do before you get to the game?
Yeah.
Are you hydrating? Are you resting? Are you eating properly before you're taking care of your body 24/7? Are you doing that or are you not doing that?
Yeah.
But I had friends who were at the game, and they were texting me. I mean, you had a lot of cramping going on in the Vandy guys, too. They were talking about how hot it was in the gym.
Vandy hotboxed Alabama?
Yeah, I don't know if Boynton, is that his name, Boynton?
Byington.
I don't know if the old guy who I don't know at Vandy turned up the heat or what in the old gymnasium there. But
Alexandria used to do that. When you'd go to Alexandria, y'all all played it, or y'all all had a rival that would do that, right? Like the locker room would be scalding hot.
But they were cramping on the other side, too. I mean, you had guys that on both sides that were cramping up. But Vandy with a big win. But I just loved the quality of basketball you had last night. It was
except for all the free throws.
Well, I mean
that's impossible.
That
was
just part of the chaos. But the diving on the floor and the gutsy effort and everything. Let's hear from the coaches because there was a storyline. And even in the post-game live interview, Tyler Tanner said, "Oh yeah, we all heard what Nate Oats said about us, and we took it personally." So here's Nate Oats now after getting the Vandy win. Vandy's played somebody now. They've beaten you. And here's Nate Oats commenting on what happened in the Vandy game.
No, they played better than us. Bottom line, that's it. I mean, we didn't score it well enough because I didn't think we got as good a shots we needed to get. We didn't move the ball like we needed to. We had 9 assists on the game. Ball didn't move. We fouled too much. We didn't make our free throws like we needed to. Just a lot of stuff you got to do to win big basketball games. We didn't do well enough tonight. So, and a lot of it's due to Vanderbilt. I mean, they're tough, physical, got good guard play. I mean, Miles kind of led the way in the first half, and then second half, Tanner, he had 6 at the half and ends up with 29. He has 23 in the second half. So he was pretty good. So he's one of the better guards in this league. If they end up winning the league championship, he'll probably be a league MVP, and he deserves it. So we're going to have to play a lot better to beat. We won't get these guys until the SEC tournament, but we're going to play a lot better than we did tonight to beat a lot of teams in our league.
Wow, bold prediction with 60 days left in the regular season, right?
League MVP.
But it's true. I mean, if they win it, he's the face of their program, Brownie. But for Alabama, this becomes the, I was going to use equator, but there's probably a better geographical line to draw in the sand here for Alabama. When they play teams that can be more physical than them in the paint, they lose. They've yet to. I mean, can you name me somebody that is a more physical inside team than Alabama that they've been able to overcome and beat them? They did against Kentucky, but Kentucky seems to be lost.
I think Kentucky's a little broken.
Yeah, 4-4 over their last 8. Lose at home to Missouri last night, but the games they've lost, they have been. They have lost it in the paint, and with all that Tyler Tanner did last night, I thought it was rim protection and everything in the paint that cost them the game.
Well, yeah, a little bit of that, but Alabama did win the boards pretty handily. The problem is when you miss 31 threes.
Yeah,
my
9
gosh.
of 40, and that's one thing I was going to point out. If you can go glass half full, glass half empty with this. I don't know. I'll go glass half full because I'm going to try to help Alabama fans maybe feel a little better about this. You went on the road. You're 9 of 40 from beyond the arc. Aiden Sherrill doesn't play a minute. Your SEC Player of the Year candidate plays 19 minutes and has cramps, and you lose by 6.
And most of that was in the first half that he played.
Yeah. And you lose by 6 to a team that is undefeated right now.
Yeah, basically, if you shoot 25% from deep, you
win the game.
You win the game.
Yeah. And it also blows up the narrative of if Alabama doesn't hit their threes. They didn't hit their threes. They scored 90 points.
Yeah.
I mean,
and listen, I'm not down on Alabama.
No,
at all.
I know you're not at all. I'm just trying to say if you step back and take a look at it, there are some positives you can take away from a bad loss.
I look at Alabama in the eyes of, can they get to the Final Four and win a national championship? All right, that's all I'm saying. And right now there is, in no particular order, Arizona, Michigan, UConn, Purdue, and we'll see what Houston and some others turn into. But
Gonzaga's pretty good too.
Those 4 right there, Gonzaga's pretty good. I think Alabama's already played them. Did they beat them or did they not beat them?
They did not beat them.
Did not beat them. It seemed like it was a pretty good game.
Yeah, look, Alabama as a team, can they win a national championship? Doubtful, but it's a team that they can shoot their way in and out of a game.
Yeah. But I have.
And Philon and the way Holloway's playing right now, I mean, that backcourt can take a game over.
And Amari Allen plays 5 positions on the floor. It all comes down, I really believe, when we get to that part of the year, much like when Nick Pringle got hot and helped Alabama get to the Final Four, is how good of a tournament and how healthy Aiden Sherrill is when you get to those 6 games in March.
And Bo Bowen's got to be better, too. At least he's got to find his shot. He had the 7 boards last night, but he couldn't throw it in the ocean.
Yeah, can I just say I understand Nate Oates' philosophy of everybody shoot it. Everybody's got a green light.
Yep.
But I've said it once already this year. I texted a friend last night, if I'm ever accused of murder and facing a firing squad, I hope Taylor Bowen has the gun.
Terrible, by the way.
Yeah.
No, he. The first night I saw him play. Night I saw him play was against Florida State, right?
Yeah.
When we did the exhibition
game. Yeah.
And look, I mean, he's got the look. I mean, he's got all the tools, but he just hadn't found a shot.
Yeah, I don't want him shooting as quickly as he's shooting it right now.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Nate's like, if you got open, let go.
Well, that's just the style.
Oh, it's the style, but at some point, maybe like, Taylor, maybe not you.
Yeah. Maybe. I know I yell at everybody else, but look inside for a pass first.
Yeah. I would say the same thing about the other big guy that had a big game against Kentucky. Slips my mind right now.
Noah Williamson?
Yeah, Williamson. Yeah. When he shoots them too. And I know they make them occasionally, but when they shoot them, I never feel good they're going in when either one of those guys are shooting it right now.
I haven't figured Bama out yet.
Yeah, they're tough to figure now. Yeah. You haven't really – and listen, this is not only an Alabama excuse. There are a lot of teams that probably say this, but you haven't seen them fully healthy yet. They have had so many injuries.
They said in the broadcast last night, Brown, not one game has the entire roster been available.
That's what I was about to say. I don't know that Nate Oats has had the rotation that he really wants for a single game this year. And maybe they never have that. I don't know. I mean, Reitzel gets banged up an awful lot. He went out of that game hurt last night. Sherrell's hurt right now. Philon's got full body cramps. I mean, that's obviously not going to be long term. But, I mean, at some point, you'd kind of like to see Nate have the 7, 8, 9 guys that he wants and see what they look like, for an extended period of time.
That's the best part about basketball is that you work to that in March and you get that.
It lasts forever, so you'll get it eventually maybe.
Should win the next 3. Should.
Texas with Sean Miller, for those that don't know,
they're going to get better.
Good coach.
But they're 9-6.
He admits that this is not the roster he wants to have next year.
Yeah.
Then they play in Starkville and then in Norman, but they're a better team than Mississippi State and Oklahoma right now.
Unless Josh Hubbard does what he did the other day, man.
He did at Alabama once.
My goodness. All right, so that's basketball last night. Missouri beat Kentucky. UAB dropped 1 to Florida Atlantic after getting a good win at USF. But before we move on, let's give Vandy their due. They win, and here is Mark Byington.
Your guy, Jim.
Talking about what Nate Oats said. They haven't played the schedule we played. I don't think Nate actually said it the way Tyler Tanner made it sound and some others that, hadn't played anybody or anything like that. I think he just said they hadn't played the same schedule we played. But here's Byington's comments on the Nate Oats comment.
I mean, there's always going to be something said. And, they'll be saying something after this one. We're in the SEC. Right now, it's the number 1 ranked conference in the country. I do know this. The SEC told me before the league started that we had the toughest conference schedule of anybody in the league. So what we're going to do is try to go 1-0 in every game. Whoever comes, we're going to try to beat them. And we've done it 15 times so far.
So I told you as a world champion chess player.
I believe it. Sounds like he coaches at UConn, not Vandy.
If you told me he just walked in,
chess player.
If you told me he just walked in and said, "Hey, we've decided to fire Todd Bowles as the Buccaneers and the general manager. I'm the guy that's the president of the organization." He looks like he's a front office guy.
He can obviously coach, though, man. Give that dude some credit.
All right, Texas.
This may be the glory years of Vandy athletics.
Yeah, I mean it's been 10 wins in football this year.
I know.
Heisman runner-up.
And basketball back where it touched occasionally back in the day and hadn't been there in quite a while.
They're 2 wins away from their best starting program history.
Yeah, I mean,
which surprises me. I would think it would be right now. I mean,
you would think
they're 15-0. It's hard to go 15-0.
Yeah,
it's impressive. So Alabama at home, Texas, Auburn gets Arkansas this weekend. SEC, a lot of fun through 2 games and a lot of surprising storylines out there. Vandy's one of them, and a positive side. Our show being brought to you as we jump to the national championship game. The semifinal game tonight involving an SEC team. Show today being brought to you by a couple of great sponsors. One of them, our friends at Bojangles Brownie.
You can make a bow time at Bojangles, and right now, that chicken and rice bowl, there for a limited time at Bojangles. How good does this sound? Let me paint the picture for you. A hearty scoop of dirty rice, a big spoonful of slow-cooked Cajun pintos, a layer of melty cheese, and your choice of chicken on top. It's hot, it's hearty, and it's all yours right now for just $7.49 at your local Bojangles. Don't wait too long, though. The bowl is only back for a limited time. If you're hungry, you know where to go. Drive-thrus open at Bojangles. Make it bow time.
Hey, and if you're looking for the best CPAP gear with personal service you can trust, you need to visit CPAP Plus with 3 convenient locations right here in Birmingham, Pelham, Highway 280, and Trussville. 5 locations throughout the state. Look, if you're not getting your proper 8 hours of sleep, it's so bad for your health. You need to check in with Joe and Woody O'Neill at O'Neill Medical and CPAP Plus. Stop by today, CPAP Plus, where you're going to find the best service and equipment all in stock, ready for you with hundreds of 5-star Google reviews. Trust CPAP Plus for all of your CPAP needs. CPAP Plus, where every night matters.
All right, so 6:30 tonight on ESPN, we get Ole Miss in Miami. For You got to talk Lane Kiffin first, apparently. So we'll talk Lane Kiffin's absence. And if Pete got asked about it as Ole Miss gets ready for this game. And we'll actually talk about the game on the field here in a second because all these other storylines, the portal and Lane Kiffin's saga and the coaching carousel, that takes away from the actual games. But we got 3 great football games left in the college football season. But first, Pete Golding gets asked in the final news conference, do you have a message for Lane Kiffin? Here's Pete Golding.
So what is your message to Lane Kiffin, to all those who maybe have given up or lost hope, and you keep proving them wrong as you're here right now in Phoenix?
Yeah, I don't have a message for anybody else. I think our team had a message. They had a message about how they prepared and how they play, and that they weren't tired of playing. And I do think the message is, I'm replaceable, you're replaceable, our players are replaceable. Right? I think you want to build a program to where it's heading in the right direction, and one person, one player, or anything like that's not going to derail that. There's been too much invested in that, and it's been aligned correctly that one person is not going to impact something so drastically. If it is, it's probably not built right. Right? If one coach in any sport can determine the outcome of it, he probably doesn't have a very good staff. The timing of when it happened, in my opinion, couldn't happen at a better time for the players because everything was already in place. Right? Everything was on the track. It's headed the right direction. We got really good players. Right? There was already a culture created. They knew the expectation. The only thing that was different, who's running them out of the tunnel. And to be honest with you, I don't think the players give a damn who runs them out of the tunnel. Right? Does it make sense? They care about their plan. They care about getting held accountable, right, and how they're going to prepare. And they care about people that care about them, right? And I think that's been the message our players have created. But I don't have shit to say to anybody else.
You finally got there.
He's incredible. And I don't know what world we're living in. I mean, think about this. This is the biggest game in Ole Miss history tonight. Mm-hmm. This is the biggest game in Mario Cristobal's career tonight. How Miami and Ole Miss are playing for a shot to play for a national championship. And if Pete Golding wins this, he will become the only active SEC coach outside of Kirby Smart with 3 college football playoff wins. Think about that. He will be number 2 on the list of active SEC coaches with playoff wins.
Where's Lane Kiffin on that list?
Yeah. Lane hasn't sniffed it yet.
Yeah, not there.
Okay, so active coaches.
Yeah, Sark's got 2.
Kalen's got 2.
Kalen's got 2.
Okay.
Sark's got 2.
Yep.
Sark's got 2.
Orgeron's got 2.
Yeah, but not active.
Not active. Saban had 9.
Well, yeah.
That's all he had?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he didn't have the playoffs the whole time. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
That's right.
Kirby's got 5.
Kirby's got 5? Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was going to ask.
But, I mean, that's pretty crazy. Like, if we're convening next year, where is SEC Media Days?
Tampa. Don't forget Tampa.
I won't be there.
Yeah,
but, like, when I'm in the studio.
You've already declared you're not going.
When I'm in the studio.
You say that.
And you guys are in Tampa.
You say that. You'll be there. You'll be in Tampa.
Can you imagine the conversation with Pete Golding? Man, so you've got 3 college football playoff. Maybe at that point 4. Maybe he's got a national championship.
Yeah.
Maybe he's walking in like Vince McMahon. To his time, does that walk?
I mean, did we sleep on both these teams? I asked Pete the question about Miami, but when you look back at Ole Miss, the only game they lost, they were leading the fourth quarter in Athens. Well, and I know the schedule wasn't difficult by SEC standards, but that is their only blemish the entire year.
I think there was a time, specifically after the Notre Dame game, where we said, man, but shortly after that, before they lost the game, that we said, man, Miami may be the best team. I think after they beat Notre Dame, we were like, man, they're pretty good. And then when they handed it to USF, because there was a lot of people with the upset, and they just blitzed them.
And USF was coming off that Florida win. A lot of people, this is a tricky game. And, boy, it was.
It's not. And I think at that point we said, well, Miami may be the best team in the country.
And then what happened?
And then they lost a couple of games.
They lost to Louisville and at SMU.
And then we pushed them aside.
Yep.
And they've won 6 straight, which is the longest win streak right now in the FBS. How crazy is that? 6 straight wins.
Yeah, I know. That's the world we live in now in college football.
And we never got there for Ole Miss. And we didn't get there for Ole Miss because Alabama corrected the ship and was on that run after Florida State, and they started getting a little bit of the headlines. And then Georgia started getting the headlines. Georgia's back now. And then when they beat Ole Miss, it was Alabama to Georgia. That was the transition there. Well, I don't think we ever got to Ole Miss being even the best team in the SEC.
Yeah.
Hey, and by the way, they didn't go to Atlanta to play for it.
I know. Well, I thought that they were a complete team, but I didn't think they were like an elite team. And before they lost that Georgia game, remember Washington State had ball in hand to win that game. in Oxford.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Washington State in Oxford.
I know.
And so I think that's one of the things we look at and we're like, damn, really, how good is this team? You had to transition from Austin Simmons to Trinidad Chambliss. Chambliss has been outstanding.
0 stars, by the way, recruiting-wise. 0 stars.
Trinidad?
Yeah, Trinidad.
Hey, that is, look, when we look at positives of the transfer portal, you can go in, you can find your quarterback, but for these guys, these players, to be able to pluck a guy, and Lane Kiffin's whole purpose was, I want a quality backup, is what he said when he went to get
Trinidad.
Trinidad
This guy may be
Chambliss.
playing his way into the NFL first round.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
I don't think anybody, Brandy, has a problem with the portal. At least I don't.
Well, it only gets painted as negative by a lot of people.
Well, there's
and Lance
no
is
loyalty,
right.
though.
There isn't.
When you got Brendan Sorsby, I mean, look, not that he should be loyal to Cincinnati or whatever, but when you're like, I'm going to turn down 3.5 from LSU to take $5 million Texas Tech, it literally is all about the money.
I would love to see just, a contract and whatever you want to sign, and it's 2-year, 3-year, 1 year, or maybe we just have one transfer, and then if you transfer again, it's old school. You have to sit out a year. But one transfer where you can transfer, however you want to do it. I think it's the renegotiation, 4 schools in 4 years. I think that's the bad taste. But I love being able to see somebody who's really good, at a G5 or a lesser power conference, get a chance to play for an Ohio State or for an Indiana to put together a roster of a bunch of guys that look this good.
It gets painted only as negative, the transfer portal, but, there's a Cam Ward who started at an Incarnate Word.
Yeah.
And Cam Ward's a late bloomer. Now he goes to Washington State and then Miami. But Trinidad Chambliss is a late bloomer like Cam Ward. He starts at Ferris. He's not going to find the NFL, I don't think, for Ferris State.
No, look, I mean, some of the best musicians and actors have never found any footing and never will.
That's right.
I mean, like Trinidad Chambliss could be the next, and I've heard this comp, and I'm not very good at the comps, but it's spot on. Russell Wilson.
I knew that's what they were going to say. Is it the size?
It's the size. It's just his escapability.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just hard to get a hand on. But anyway, he could be, a guy that wins a Super Bowl. You never know.
Yeah.
And he would have been buried and, would have been showing his Ferris State ring to his grandkids. But, doing, selling cars. Who knows?
The musical side of that would be the guy who sings in the choir at a local church on a Sunday. Great voice, really as talented as anybody who's got a #1 record, just never got a shot.
Yeah.
And he got his shot, and we'll see if he can win American Idol tonight and take Ole Miss all the way to the national championship game. On the field, key to the game tonight, and we'll talk more about it later on too, brought to you by our friends at Odie's, where last night you guys had a great time at trivia. What was the question?
The question was, which came first, Nicolas Cage or Starbucks?
Starbucks to me, Brownie.
I went way too early on Starbucks. I'll go ahead and tell you.
Starbucks for me is I'm going to say it's a late 60s, early 70s thing in Seattle. I'm going to go 1971 for Starbucks, and I'm going to say Nick Cage is older than that.
Jeeves?
I also think Nick Cage is older than Starbucks.
We talked about Nick Cage celebrated his 62nd birthday yesterday, so I think 1964 was the year. Starbucks debuted in Seattle in 1971. Very good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No research on that at all. That was just a guess.
These are the little factoids you learn each and every Wednesday night. Odie's Team Trivia. We do it at the original location in Crestline. Of course, 2 locations now. The Edgewood location. The game will be on tonight. Ole Miss, Miami. Get down there early, get you a table, get some of the great food from Rodney Davis. He's been doing it for almost 4 decades now. The award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches, ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. It's a Birmingham institution. Get in and see Will Avery and that great staff. It's Odie's Tavern.
By the way, in the Styrofoam cup, not Starbucks.
That's good.
Forrester and I enjoy good coffee.
Good old-fashioned coffee.
Yeah.
That's not a transfusion?
No.
They do come in a Styrofoam cup.
6:30 tonight, Miami and Ole Miss.
We got to play on that, by the way.
Okay, more on that in a second.
How many stars?
5.
Okay.
More on that in a second. Carson Beck here on handling the pressure of the game and then the pressure that Ole Miss can put on him. Here's the Miami quarterback, and it's a big game, biggest in his career too.
How do you handle the pressure of this game, of the semifinal? How does this team handle the pressure of this?
I think a lot of people answer that question and say, there is no pressure. It's just another football game. But, The way I like to look at it, I don't like to, just blow it off and say it's just another game. Obviously, it's not another game. It's it's the college football playoff semifinal. I think it's important to recognize it for what it is. And obviously, we, as a team, are super blessed and grateful to be in this position. We've worked really hard to be in this position, and we've earned the opportunity to be in this position. So I think just recognizing it for what it is, we're really excited for that opportunity. And at that point, once you know what it is, you can just go out there and cut it loose and just have fun.
Boy, if they can't pressure him, I feel like I heard somebody say he's definitely an NFL quarterback.
He is. 2 years ago when we were sitting right here on this desk, I was like, he is going to be the first overall pick. And then he gets hurt in that SEC championship, and he ends up transferring out, and it ends up being a really good move. I mean, who would have thought Miami gives up the number 1 overall pick in Cam Ward and then goes and plays in the semifinals with Carson Beck? But Carson Beck
couldn't make the playoffs, Cam Ward.
Well, you can't sleep on him. 36-5 as a starting quarterback, 15-3 versus ranked teams.
But to be fair,
wow, it's 15-3 versus ranked team, Brandon. That's a lot of big games.
Yeah, but to be fair, when I say Miami couldn't make the playoffs with Cam Ward, the reason they are in the playoffs is not Carson Beck or offense; it's Bain and Mesidor. That's the whole reason they're here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor are at times unblockable. Ohio State couldn't do it, and I mean Texas A&M couldn't do it. Ohio State couldn't do it, and that's my concern for Ole Miss tonight. It's a good news for Ole Miss is Trinidad Chambliss is magical when he starts scrambling. You saw that against Georgia, but he's going to have to scramble some tonight. I mean, you can take the best offensive line in college football. They are not shutting down completely Bain and Mesidor. Those guys are going to have their say.
Yeah, Bain's got 64 quarterback pressures, 3rd in the FBS. On the other side, Mesidor's got 10.5 sacks, which led the ACC. But I would say this Ole Miss offense is better than advertised. They've only given up 18 sacks the entire year. A lot of that is the escapability of Chambliss. You saw it against Georgia, but Georgia had 0 sacks. I'm not saying you're going to be able to keep the pocket clean, but if you can keep it somewhat clean to let him use that escapability, that is going to be key. And even more key to me is Kejuan Lacey. What kind of game can Lacey have?
I was coming back from the Rose Bowl. I was coming back from the Rose Bowl, Brooks and I, and Lance had already made it back to our house in L.A.
Imagine that.
I was watching the stadium. Beat me home, yes.
Well, I left halfway through the second quarter.
Yes. And I was watching the game in the car on my phone. And so I'd seen everything, but I walked in, and the first thing Lance said is, Brown, you got to get in here. Trinidad Chambliss just pulled a rabbit out of his, and he named a body part. And I was like, that sounds painful.
Yeah.
But
I said he pulled a rabbit out of his dick. I mean, he did.
I've never heard that phrase.
Not even out of his ass. I mean, the move against Georgia going back to the goal line.
I know. I had just seen the play. I just seen the play in the car.
It was amazing.
It was amazing. He's like, Brown, you got to get in here. And I was like, I've never heard that phrase, but it's a great description of the way Trinidad Chambliss plays.
Anytime you're running and your back's to the line of scrimmage.
Not a good thing.
Yeah.
Normally, and he turned it into a first down.
Yeah. But I think he brought up Kejuan Lacey. In that game, a lot of hidden yards where Kejuan Lacey, I think there was a big power run through a block to get a key first down in that win. He is huge tonight. Ole Miss and Miami. Winner plays the winner of tomorrow night's Indiana-Oregon game in Atlanta. Our coverage continues on our social media platform for all the playoff coverage. A lot of great sounds and reactions that Brooks and Forrester continue to throw up for you, and graphics and everything, all right there at Next Round Live on all the platforms. You can go check that out. Like, subscribe, and follow at Next Round Live. And LT has a play on it. Lance'sLock.com. Lance'sLock.com, brought to you by our friends at Hemphill.
Hemphill Services, by the way, 5-1 on the college football playoffs going into tonight. We do have a side. Ole Miss game, Ole Miss Miami. Jump on board. There's a free play every single day. We were 3-1 last night. All college basketball. We will have more college hoops up available tonight as well, but jump on board and win with us again. 5-1 of the college football playoffs. Free play every single day. It is always brought to you by Hemphill Services. Trusted name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, cooling, any of those issues arise in your home or business. They are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
I like it.
Okay, Brown has privately, password style, written down what he thinks the play is. Lance has given him a thumbs up. I will tell you, I was going to say my play, and it was opposite of that, so that should make you feel good. See what the password answer is by going to lanceslock.com, lanceslock.com. All right, in the next segment, quarterback talk in the portal. We'll update you on some things like that. What if 2 Portal, Alabama defensive players were going to visit a powerhouse Big Ten school like Ohio State? Would you think differently of them leaving Alabama maybe to be an Ohio State defensive player? We'll talk about that. But next up on the show, Ty Simpson to the NFL. How will Ty Simpson be remembered by Alabama fans? His place in Alabama football history, that's coming up in the next segment on the show, that's brought to you by Johnston RV Center. Brownie, I'll tell you that the Dolphins has fired Mike McDaniels. As you tell me, Johnston RV Center can take you on the road.
Okay,
the timing of that.
I mean, you're just going to set me up. Yeah, you're right. I'm just looking at it right now.
Yeah, I would tell you that means
John Harbaugh.
Harbaugh's in play.
100%.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, it means they have reached out to John Harbaugh, and he says, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
Now, that's going to create controversy because they're not going to go through the normal, but I'm sure they'll put some window dressing on it, but there'll be people that complain that they didn't go through the normal hiring process, the Rooney Rule and all that.
Oh, they will actually go through it.
Oh, they will, but it's just going to be window dressing because I'm quite excited about this.
Yeah, Todd Bowles re-upped it last night.
Right.
So
you're not excited about that.
At 36 and 36, he's coming back. New OC, same old team.
Yeah.
You guys getting a fresh start with maybe a legend.
We'll see. Johnston RV. That just made my day. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Always online, johnstonrvcenter.com. They got something in just about every price range in the hundreds, low hundreds a month with approved credit, no money down, or all the way up to those big motorhomes, motor coaches. Whatever your budget is, they've got it for you at Johnston RV Center. You can also see more about RV Warranty Forever, lifetime warranty on anything that is new or qualifying pre-owned at Johnston RV Center. And you can see that right there. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online, johnstonrvcenter.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
You know what, D? I hate being on this highway with all these 18-wheelers. I don't know what I'd do if I got in an accident with one.
First, call 911 to report the accident, and then hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shinara trial attorney, because accidents with 18-wheelers, delivery truck, and construction vehicles are complicated. Call 1-800-229-7989 or hit them up at Shinara.com. Alexander Shinara trial attorney. We go deeper. We fight harder. We win bigger.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com. Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
All right, coming up on the show today, 10:30, Richard Hendrix joins us to talk a little bit more SEC basketball after we've got 2 games under the belt going into a big weekend. Dan Orlovsky with us at 11:15. There is a little Orlovsky, Jordan Rogers back and forth going on. That storyline, if you're not following it, Orlovsky says Arch Manning should come out. He'd be the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft ahead of Fernando Mendoza. Jordan Rogers says doesn't have the arm strength. He's got the IQ. He's got the athleticism. Doesn't have the arm strength.
Physical size. I mean, I heard Orlovsky talking about it. It was from a hit on Dan Patrick yesterday. And Dan Patrick, I don't know how it got brought up, but he said, well, I guess Dan Patrick just asked him if Arch Manning was in this draft, where would he go? And he was like, number 1, hands down, not even close. And so I think that caught the attention of a lot of other people. I don't know. The problem there is if you don't draft him number 1 and Arch becomes what a lot of people believe Arch is going to become, then how dumb do you look?
Yep. I mean, somebody in this draft is going to pass on him. And if he becomes a mustard jacket wearing NFL quarterback, everybody is going to rewind and say, well, you had a chance to draft Arch Manning if he came out.
And you guys know I love Mendoza, but he's not a given. It's not a given.
None of them are, Lance. I mean, there's not a single given out there.
Oh, it never is at quarterback.
No. I mean, like, people say John Elway was the best quarterback prospect that had been seen up until that time, I think that's what they say.
Yeah, it was Elway and then Andrew Luck.
And then Andrew Luck, oddly, 2 Stanford guys.
And Luck would have been a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and those guys were what people say are absolute can't misses that absolutely didn't miss. Now, Luck shortened his career. Elway was obviously well worth anything Denver gave for him.
Yeah.
I just don't know that those guys exist anymore. I don't know. I don't know if we develop quarterbacks anymore the way we used to. I think, and Orlovsky can answer this. I'll try to remember to ask Dan this later on. I think it's harder to draft NFL quarterbacks now because quarterbacks bounce around a lot and they don't quite get the development they used to.
Reaction of where Mike Renner says Ty Simpson will go in the draft after we tell you the show is being brought to you by the great folks at Crane U. It's a great time maybe to change your career or just get better at your career. Crane U can help you with all of that.
They absolutely can. Get the Crane training you need today. If you're looking for that new career, need further training to advance your current one, our friends at Crane U offer that comprehensive, state-of-the-art, fully stocked training facilities for mobile cranes, overhead lifts, forklift training. If you want to use your own equipment, not a big deal. The team at Crane U will actually come to you on-site, on-location training offered nationwide. Very important. Mention the next round. You're going to get 10% off any of of the great and all of the great services from our friends at Crane U. Make your job easier, the job site safer. Crane U also offers certification, safety inspections to ensure the safest environment possible. Classes available monthly, so call or visit our friends at Crane U. Call 855-CRANE-U or visit them online at craneu.com.
Mike Renner does the mock draft for CBS right now. He projects Ty Simpson to be a late first-round pick.
Okay.
29th to the Los Angeles Rams. Reaction.
I think most quarterbacks in that system, as long as Sean McVay is there, are going to succeed. So I don't necessarily have a problem with it. I mean, you got to love the swagger. You got to love his leadership. He just doesn't have a lot of playing time. He's played really, really well. There was some inconsistencies. A lot of that was probably injury related. Does he remind me of a franchise quarterback? No. But, just because it's such a abbreviated career at Alabama.
So here's the question Brown wanted to bring up on the show. How will Ty Simpson be remembered in Alabama football history? In a tough place to be remembered. Now, I'm going to set you up for your answer, Brownie and LT, after I tell you what Blue Penguin 17 says on Reddit. And Brooks, you can do the research on this.
Is this the Blue Penguin 17? It's not a fake one.
Renowned Blue Penguin.
Blue Penguin 17 on Reddit.
Okay.
And I think he's factually right about this. But I'll let Brooks do the research and the graphic if he chooses to do so. Ty Simpson becomes the first quarterback since John Parker Wilson to play the majority of his snaps during the season or his time at Alabama to be eventually the number one quarterback at Alabama and not win an SEC championship.
Oh, poor JP.
Let's go back in history. Jalen Milroe, 1-1.
Yes.
Bryce Young, 1-1.
Yes.
Mack, 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
Tua, 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurt, 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
Coker, 1-1.
Yep.
Sims 1-1.
Yep.
AJ, GMAC, 1-1. John Parker Wilson did not.
Poor JP, man. Catching strays.
So that's Ty Simpson historically in Alabama. It's a tough place to be remembered. It's a tough place to be remembered.
Yeah.
Great teammate, stayed around, waited for the moment, played really good football. Could be a first-round draft pick. No shame in that at all. But in Alabama history, that,
Yeah, I mean, look, 3,500 passing yards, 28 touchdowns, only 5 picks. They go to the quarterfinals. They play for an SEC championship, but he's not going to be a top 10 quarterback. I think it's more it's never going to compare to Bryce, to Mac, AJ, McElroy, Jalen Hurts, any of those guys. I think it's more Blake Sims. Well, you mentioned JP.
Yeah, here's what I was going to do. I was going to start with comparing him to the one-year guys. Okay, just to be fair to him, he only started 1 year. Let's compare him to the one-year guys.
Best ever was Mac Jones.
Yeah, won a championship.
You're not going to pass that one.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody ever will.
I don't know that a one-year guy could ever do that again.
Do you put Coker in as a one-year guy?
Coker's a one-year guy, yeah.
Yeah, Coker's definitely in front.
Would you put Simpson? You put Coker in front of Simpson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, look, for the entirety of the season, Simpson was probably better, but Coker got on that heater, and he won a national championship.
He did. I mean, it's hard to ignore the ring Coker has. Now, as Jim once...
I'll say it right now for you.
One of the greatest lines I've ever heard Dunaway say, when we're playing golf with Coker and our buddy Paul Register one day...
was a short putt.
Short putt. And Dunaway says, you can't turn around and hand this one to Derrick Henry.
Got to make this putt.
Got to make this putt. It was a great line. And even Coker stepped away from the putt to laugh. He was like, that's a good one, Jim.
Now, at that point, I had known Coker for about 27 minutes. So it was a big, bold statement.
Coker ain't a small guy.
And it was one of the things that obviously Dunaway had always thought, because he wouldn't have said it out loud if he didn't.
It's just a funny one line. And as my buddies remind me playing golf, they're like, not everybody is fluent in schmarmy. And you say things that you mean funny, but you say it with such deadpan face that some people don't read it that way.
That's right. No, I've
because that was on your brain during that run in 2015.
No, I mean,
it had to be, Jim. That line came out too quick.
No, I think of lines like that all the time.
I mean, it was so well positioned by Jim, because Coker had just gotten over the putt, and Jim goes, Can't turn around and hand this one to Derrick Henry, can you?
Well, I mean, that's what people say about him.
Coker even had to step away and laugh. He was like, damn, that was good, Jeff.
Jeeves, as we talk about Ty Simpson, will you do me a favor? Will you pull his composite shot from ESPN?
Okay.
Just because it's going to remind you guys of somebody.
So, Blake Sims. Would you put Blake Sims? I
think it's equal.
I remind everyone, Blake Sims left Alabama as the single-season passing leader. He had the best single season in Alabama football history statistically when he left. Now, guys have come since him and made you forget Blake Sims. But when he left Alabama, he had won an SEC championship and had the best single-season Alabama quarterback had ever had. So you would say that's a tie.
I think that's a tie. I need the one with the script A behind it. I don't know if you can find that.
Okay.
But that's the picture. But I need the script A behind it because it's what the script A does to the picture. Anyway, yeah, I think Blake Sims is right there with Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
See, but what about Blake had the same thing that Jake Coker did? Half of his yards went to Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Blake, but, like, it's the same.
No, you're saying, Brooks, exactly what I was about to say. Ty Simpson and John Parker Wilson, of all the quarterbacks we named, had the worst supporting cast.
Correct.
Compared to all those guys in the middle. Like, if you put Ty Simpson and John Parker Wilson on the team with any of the guys in the middle, I feel like they would probably have won a national championship and be remembered totally different.
To your point, JP had 1 year of Julio, and look what it did. It went from a 7-win team to they played for an SEC championship.
That's right. And then that talent level got really good the next year.
Yeah.
And really good, really good, really good. A lot of guys benefited. You know, you see it in the NFL. There are great quarterbacks that don't win a lot of games because they don't have Jimmys and Joes around him. And if you Brooks brought it up exactly as I was thinking about it. Ty Simpson and John Parker Wilson being compared here because those are the two quarterbacks in this run that didn't win an SEC championship.
Think about what you're saying right there.
But they're also the guys that had they're the bookends of talent.
JP took his last snap in 2008, and Ty Simpson is the next regular starter, guys, that did not win an SEC championship.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 starting quarterbacks.
Absorb that for 1 second. I mean, if you can't remember how good the Nick Saban era was, just absorb for 1 second that John Parker Wilson is the last regular quarterback to take a snap and not win a national championship, and that streak just ended.
Yeah.
Or, excuse me, SEC championship, and that streak just ended.
That's
pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
Pretty remarkable.
Okay, it shows different on my screen. Mine shows a little script A coming out. That's the picture, but it looks like the kid from American Pie that was in
Stifler.
It looks like Stifler,
no, I see
but when
Stifler.
he had the mullet in Old School. When he shot Will Ferrell in the neck with the dart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the script A on mine, it comes out on the bottom, so he's
makes
got
it
a
look like a
mullet.
mullet? I
Yeah,
got
and
you.
it looks just like Stifler.
No,
with
I've
the,
never noticed
Yeah.
that he looks a little bit like Sean Michael Scott. Was that the actor's name?
Yeah, very
John
good.
William Scott.
John William Scott.
John
yeah.
Williams. Yeah, I knew it was something Scott. I never have noticed that, Lance, until now. That's all I'll see. Like, I was watching the 49ers Seahawks game the other night, and I told Jennifer, I was like, somebody on our show told us that Brock Purdy looks like Lee Harvey Oswald, and I have never been able to see anything but Lee Harvey Oswald when I see Brock Purdy now. And she's like, oh, my gosh, he does look like Lee Harvey Oswald.
He does.
I will never see him again and not think Stifler.
Yeah, he really does.
So,
He
I
really
mean,
does.
Ty Simpson is not a top 10 quarterback of all time.
Yeah, that's
right?
unfortunate. I mean, I think people like Ty and will remember him fondly, but it's a pantheon of Alabama history.
Well, now he goes to the NFL. Now he gets to the NFL. What if he has a great NFL career? People remember that very differently. I mean, Bart Starr apparently sucked at Alabama, or at least the teams did. But everybody claims Bart Starr, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think it definitely changes at that point. Our man Aaron Suttles was on a roll yesterday. Very, very passionate on Bama and Bourbon. But he brought this up with Ty Simpson, and I totally agree. You know, there were talks that he was going to get into the portal possibly and go to Tennessee.
That was Chris Lowe. Somebody's asking in the chat earlier. Who said that? Chris Lowe said that on a radio show Sunday, that he's likely to go to the NFL, but if not, he thinks he moves on from Alabama, Tennessee, and Oregon are possibilities, according to Chris.
But Suttle said if Ty Simpson would have gone to Tennessee, he cannot be a permanent captain. Like, you can't have
I agree
him.
100%.
Yeah, and I do too. Yeah.
You don't ask him
I don't
back.
care if you win a national championship.
Nope. You don't ask him back to put the hands in the concrete. The hands in the concrete go to guys that finish at Alabama.
Yeah.
I agree 100% on that one.
But it didn't happen. So better that Ty Simpson, for his Alabama legacy, goes to the NFL than to another program.
Really good thing that he did, the social media thing that he dropped yesterday where he narrated it. It was It was moving and said a lot of positive things about Alabama, and he is a permanent captain. He'll have his hand and cleat prints over near Denny Chimes. Gets a little further away from Denny Chimes as we move throughout time.
Yeah.
It's not right under it.
No.
Yeah, one day it'll be down at Innisfree.
Yeah. It'll be, I mean, at Auburn, when you walk around Toomer's Corner, they've got grates,
on the sidewalk.
Yeah. There's not handprints or anything, but you got names you're walking by and you're like, oh, how does, I'm trying to think of one. Does Sonny have one, Sonny Smith?
Oh, I'm sure.
How is Sonny Smith over here by, the bank?
Yeah.
And somebody else is over there at the corner.
Well, it's like, walking down, on Sunset and Hollywood and the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I mean, that damn thing's all over the place.
Yeah. And you always wonder, like, God, how did, pick an actress ended up right here in front of.
I know. She's got such a good spot. I ain't even heard of her.
In and out.
Yeah.
And somebody else who's less talented is over there in front of a character drawer or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Kate Blanchett is on the UCLA campus, and Shirley Temple's right up by the Man's Chinese.
By the way, I like the UCLA campus. I did a self-guided tour.
That's a cool campus.
I did a self-guided tour of Poly Pavilion, and that's a cool little spot too.
Was this recent time when you were out there?
Yeah. Just the last time I was out there.
Because funny, when the first time I ever went to the Rose Bowl was for the Alabama UCLA game. And I did a self-guided tour because that place is just wide open. Just walk right in.
It is. I walked right up, opened the door, walked right down on the court. Now, the lights were off, unfortunately, on the court, so I couldn't see a ton. But I walked right up the tunnel where the UCLA locker room is. Pretty cool.
Just waiting for somebody to stop you.
Apparently, Universal in arenas. I mean, you did your bracket challenge. You didn't have any lock, did you?
I did not. Now, to me, going to Auburn, Alabama State, Alabama, and UAB, little less security risk than in Los Angeles, but it surprised me even back in 1999 that, or I guess that was 2000, that UCLA wouldn't have any doors locked. But I keep forgetting a lot of these places, they have classrooms in there and students moving back and forth.
Knock on wood, I don't ever want to be homeless, but I'm heading to one of these arenas.
Well, I mean,
like if I got to spend the night
a
overnight.
lot of doors. And to Jim's point, a lot of times there are classes in there you don't think about. Now, this was Christmas break, so there were no classes. But I just walked up to Poly Pavilion, and you could see a door kind of ajar, and I pulled the handle, opened right up. I was like, well, obviously they don't mind me being in here. They wouldn't have left the door unlocked.
That's right.
So here I go.
Exactly is what I did, too. All right. Viewing a menu, and then we will get to some more college football news going on. Before we do the viewing menu, though, let me tell you about our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Leslie and her board-certified team will take care of you. I'm going to go by and see Leslie today and pick up some more protein bars. That helps me with prevents bad snacking, these protein bars do. I have one for breakfast, usually during the work week, so that I can have great breakfasts on Saturday and Sunday. And then if I get a hunger in between, lunch and dinner, or late night, instead of a bowl of ice cream, I grab the protein bar. If I'm on the golf course and instead of another transfusion or a hamburger or a hot dog, I grab the protein bar. That's how I maintain my weight or lose some weight. You can find out what works for you by going to the website at planforme.com, No contracts, no sign-up fees, first consultations free, injection therapy, and so much more. A whole menu of ways to help you. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living, and our friends at Michelson.
205-969-8100, the phone call that I made way back in 2003. Dr. Mark Michelson, the first to perform the LASIK procedure in the state of Alabama way back in 1995. When I got the procedure done, I had the 20/200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. After the procedure, which only took 12 minutes for both eyes, 20/15 vision, better than 20/20. No more contacts for me. Pain in the ass. I'm not wasting that money. Each and every year, Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jim Michelson, best in the business, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy for more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
I haven't checked today, and maybe you have it in here, but as I was going to bed last night, I could not sleep, but the internet was abuzz that a bonus surprise final episode of Stranger Things could drop today.
My daughter told me about that on the way to school. She says
tinfoil hat.
She says it's a scam. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bunch of tinfoil hat nonsense.
Yeah.
It's
not happening.
Fans that just, for whatever reason, can't fathom that Netflix writers would write a bad ending to a show. And so they're coming up with every possible theory to why it's actually not over.
I need to finish this because I've got 3 more episodes. And there's a lot of spoiler alerts, right?
Oh yeah, there's spoilers everywhere.
Yeah.
For the show.
Have you finished it?
I have.
Is it worth finishing?
It's worth finishing.
Okay.
I mean, if you've been watching since the beginning, it's definitely worth finishing.
But is it obviously it's finished?
Most definitely.
Okay.
That is the clearest ending to a show I've ever seen.
Okay. Well, Jack Taylor would not have gone to school today if that was a true thing. I think a lot of kids probably would have skipped out.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently all of the requests and people searching for it on Netflix crashed it briefly yesterday or day before.
Wow.
But so that final episode was a theatrical release if you wanted it, right?
Yep.
I don't know why you just didn't push people to do that. Think about the money you could have made. I mean, it would have been a dick move, but like if Netflix is like, hey, you got to go to the theater to see this final episode, everybody would have done it.
Oh, the showings were sold out when I went.
Oh, so that's where you saw it.
Yeah, that's where I saw it. It was New Year's Eve and New Year's Day only. But tonight, the movie Primate that I got to see Monday for Scream Unseen officially releases. This is the rabid chimpanzee movie. It's basically Cujo with a chimp, and it's exactly what I wanted. It's a fun, goofy B horror that has just some wacky dialogue and not the best looking chimp for the movie, but it works.
It's not a real chimp.
You really want a good-looking chimp when you're doing a monkey movie. I agree.
You want it to look realistic, so it's more immersive. But for this movie, I think it's better, falling in that sort of uncanny valley where you're watching it and you go, I don't think that's a chimp.
It's got a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. You know, it's funny because when I was in the same theater with you at The Shining, Leighton leaned over to me and she was like, January 9th, I know where we're going. And she was joking because the trailer, I don't even think it was called Primate back then. I think they had a different title for it because that's probably been 6 weeks or so ago. But the reviews have been great.
Yep, it was a lot of fun. Next up, we've got a re-release this weekend for the 40th anniversary of Labyrinth. I love that movie. It's just a great Jim Henson puppet work movie. Plus, you got David Bowie.
And you got Jennifer Connelly, right?
And Jennifer Connelly.
She's not in anything. It's hard to find her.
Yeah. I have never seen Labyrinth.
It's a puppet movie?
Yes, it is done by the Jim Henson Creature Shop. So they did the Yoda puppet for Star Wars, Dark Crystal, and then also all of the big puppets for Labyrinth.
Who's trying to connect to our screen back here? Somebody's
I don't
trying to
know.
connect an iPhone to our screen.
Is Bo trying to connect
I know
to
somebody's
something?
doing something.
That would be the betting favorite right now.
Everybody else is in here working on the show.
iPhone 3 is
There's
trying
no
to
one else.
connect. Mine's labeled Jim's iPhone. So
I don't know what mine's labeled.
Mine's actually labeled Jim's iPhone 2.
Yes.
Boy, that could be interesting. Something pops up there, right?
Yeah, I know. That's scary.
It's a sound share.
Yeah, don't know what's going on there.
And then finally on viewing menu, I mentioned this movie a few weeks ago. It got a limited release, and now it's finally expanding, and that is This Thing On? Starring Will Arnett.
I kind of want to see this.
It's gotten a lot of great reviews. Directed by Bradley Cooper. He's also in the movie, along with Laura Dern, and a lot of great praise for the screenplay.
Yeah.
That's the way I would do it, by the way. If I directed it,
I'd be in it too.
I'd be in it too.
Yeah, only the good parts.
if as we were doing it,
Okay.
I was like, hey, this is pretty good. I think I'm going to be in
All
it.
right, I have written in a sex scene here.
Yeah. No, I'd be like, hey, this is actually turning out pretty good. Brandy, I'm going to need you to take a hiatus. I'm taking your role.
Brown, that's what Joseph Gordon-Levitt did. He wrote a movie called Don John, where he plays someone with a sex addiction who dates Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing this against the wall, guys.
Out there.
See what happens. Yeah. What do y'all think, huh?
Yeah.
And that's everything for today.
If Scarlett is unavailable, I got a list of people.
I got a list.
Yeah.
I got a list. Speaking of a list, here's our Inverness Country Club list of the day. On 3 Sports, they polled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So a total of 18 college football analysts, media people, back at the start of the season. 18 of them gave their national championship pick. On 3 has released the graphic of who they picked. This graphic is an old graphic. They put it back out there.
No Texas, right?
Preseason college football media national. 18 people were asked how many of them even have a team still playing of the Final Four.
The only team that would still be playing would be Oregon. And I would think it is one.
It is one, and it is Oregon. Taylor Lewan, busing with the boys, has Oregon as his national champion. There were a lot of Texas: Andy Staples, Paul Feinbaum, Will Compton, Ari Wasserman,
Ryan Brown.
So there it is. Scott's throwing the graphic
there
up.
it is. So there's some Georgias. There's 3 LSUs. That's where I was. So I was with J.D. Pickle, Lee Corso.
The fired coaches.
Yeah. And Kirk Herbstreit. Okay.
Oh,
so,
look at Herbie.
Okay. There's
you and
Herbie.
Herbie together.
Yeah. Just one Georgia through all that. Couple Alabamas, Brooks Austin, Jake Crane, and our buddy Josh Pate. Penn State was heavy. Ross Dellinger, Brandon Walker, Heather Dinich, and Danny Cannell.
Boy, the chicks on there swings and misses. You got 2 Clemsons from chicks. You got a Penn State.
Hey, there are 7 fired coach picks on there. I mean, that's to pick a national championship and the coach get fired is pretty crazy. But,
Yeah.
I mean, 7 of those, 4 Penn States and 3 LSUs.
Well, speaking of that, you think if Clemson has another year like they had this year, is he gone?
No, I don't know.
Can you fire him?
You know, I'll be honest. I mean, top of the hour here, but I'll be honest. I really hate that historically it goes down that Pete Carroll was fired by the Raiders. I know he had more contract. It seems like they could have
Let him retire?
Yeah. Hey, we're going to fire you, but historically, do you want to retire? And we still work out a financial settlement when you get your contract?
They might have, and he might have said no.
Yeah, well, then you're fired.
Yeah. And I guess technically, did it go down? Harbaugh was fired from the Ravens?
Yeah. Yep.
I'd like to, them to say mutually parted ways.
Yeah, I mean, 18 years.
Yeah, Harbaugh stepping aside to,
That thing was so nasty that all the players found out from a Schefter tweet.
Yeah, but that fell out quick right there.
Yeah, that's how Brown found out about his coach getting fired, was a Schefter tweet.
Yeah, that's right, a Schefter tweet.
Yeah. All right, that's hour number 1. Hour number 2 coming up. Show brought to you by our friends at Inverness Country Club.
Hey, they've got memberships that fit everyone. Find your sense of community at the Inverness Country Club. Maybe you relocated to retired. Inverness is a great place to network. Again, the social membership, the golf membership, the racket membership, best days happen there. Childcare is also a big plus. Dinner with friends on site, knowing your kid is safe, massive plus. Maybe you work from home. What about working from the club while they watch your kid? Take a tour of the club today. Call Aaron, tell her the next round sent you, 205-991-8608 or online, iccalabama.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Oh, watch out, lady. What are you doing? Oh, wait. Come on, man. Shouting just destroyed my whip.
Say, little man, you need to call Alexander Sonara, man.
What the hell? Yeah, Alexander Sonara trial attorney. I heard they get you paid quick, fast, and in a hurry. With 500 attorneys. And staff holding it down for clients they've represented in 50 states. 659-777-7777. For Sonara.com. Alexander Sonara trial attorney suing the insurance company, not the individual. Call me, Alabama. Legal services provided. Any other provider.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hey, I got a pretty interesting stat here as we start hour number 2 because NFL playoffs are this weekend. This is fascinating to me because I'm getting a little older. I don't know if you guys are able to tell that on the video cameras. But every year, we've been doing this 16 years together. On the NFC side of the playoffs, Matt LaFleur and Kyle Shanahan are the oldest coaches left in the playoffs. They're a whopping 46 years old. I'll say that again for you, Brandon, because your eyes rolled back. Matt LaFleur and Kyle Shanahan on the NFC side of the playoffs are the 2 oldest coaches still left in the playoffs, and they are 46 years old.
How about Sean McVay still in his 30s?
That's impossible to believe. Seems like that guy's been coaching forever.
Mike McDonald of the Seahawks, 38. Sean McVay of the Rams, 39. Ben Johnson of the Bears, 39. Nick Sirianni, the Eagles, 44. Dave Canales, Panthers, 44. Crazy.
I'm trying to remember the name that is interviewing for one of these head coaching jobs that literally felt like, was it Davis Mills? Is he coaching somewhere? Is that the name I'm trying to think of?
Still quarterbacking.
Oh, he's still playing?
Yeah.
So it wasn't him. No, there was a quarterback that just recently played, and I was unaware that he was already even a coordinator in the NFL, and he's or even a quarterback coach, maybe an interview for one of these jobs, and he's like in 29 or 30. And I'm like, man, it used to be an old man's job. You remember how old Tom Landry used to look?
Oh.
And Marty Schottenheimer and Marv Levy when
Bill
we were
Walsh.
kids. Bill Walsh. It looked like just old
Well,
men.
and
coaching
that's
football.
what's interesting when people bring up Cignetti possibly going to the Raiders or flirtation with the NFL is he's 64 years old. I mean, the NFL seems like a young man's game right now.
It really does.
Over on the AFC side, 62-year-old Sean Payton, 62-year-old Jim Harbaugh. Here's an amazing one for you. Mike Tomlin, 53. That guy's been doing it a long time.
He's only 53.
Yeah. Sean McDermott, 51.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel is 50. D'Amico Ryans, 41. Liam Cohen is 40.
Davis. Thank you to Daniel. Davis Webb is the one I was trying to think of. He is the Broncos
former
quarterback
Texas
coach.
Tech coach.
Yeah, that's
or
right.
Texas Tech quarterback.
Broncos quarterback coach, passing game coordinator. Interviewing for the Raiders head coaching job, according to Adam Schefter. 31 years old. 31.
Well, the last time they hired a 31-year-old, his name was Lane Kiffin.
How'd that go?
Did not go well.
Yeah.
Al Davis fired
and,
him.
and we should have known, which some of us did, that the snake that Lane Kiffin was back then.
Yeah, more on that right now as we talk about the game tonight, Ole Miss and Miami. College football semifinals. This hour of the show being brought to you in part by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, UCA. 70 years, guys, taking care of your health right here in Central Alabama. 70-plus years, and they've got 16 locations, so their great care is convenient to you. You can find one near you and get all the details about all the things they offer, from prostate health to kidney stones, by going to urologycentersalabama.com, urologycentersalabama.com, 205-930-0920. Prostate health, kidney stones, vasectomies, they do it all. Urology Centers of Alabama, urologycentersalabama.com. Great folks right there. And again, LT and I use them, over 70 years of great service. Is Indiana the darling, America's darling in this? Is it Ole Miss?
It's Ole Miss.
Is it Oregon? Obviously, it's not Miami, probably, right?
No. I think you may have some nostalgic. They're not like dyed-in-the-wool Miami fans, but they adopted them when Miami was really hot in the 80s and 90s. Maybe some nostalgia has kicked in there, but I'm with Lance. I think it's got to be Ole Miss.
I think it's got to be Ole Miss with the storyline. I think a lot of people now have gravitated to Lane Kiffin is the villain.
Jimbo Fisher says it exactly like that. Lane Kiffin is a villain.
Yeah, I think he is. You know, the way, the departure. Again, Pete Golding's doing everything the right way. Lane Kiffin's doing everything the wrong way. I think Indiana is a great story, but I think when you hear Cignetti, I think he rubs some people wrong.
Yeah.
Look, he's a great coach. It's a great story, but I think everybody is behind Ole Miss. What's crazy is we've got people listening to us right now that have never seen any of these teams win national championships, including Miami. I mean, if you go back, and I'll never forget, I was at PT's doing a preview show at Jocks for that national championship matchup with Miami and Nebraska when they completely blew the doors off the Cornhuskers.
2000?
That 2001.
Oh, one.
Yeah, and that was a great Miami team. And if you would have gone back there and you were like, you're not going to win another championship until whatever the year is, we're in 2026, then you haven't won one. That's pretty insane.
So Oregon's never won one. Indiana's never won one. Oregon doesn't claim one, right? Am I correct about that?
No, they do not.
And Ole Miss's
62, I think.
But is that an AP or are these?
It is not. No AP, no coaches poll. No outright.
So these are sketchy at best. The ones that they've actually got them on or used to. I haven't been to the stadium there in quite a while, but they used to have them on the facade. Like they claimed them. But those are 59, 60, and 62.
But even Ole Miss fans,
I don't think it was AP or coaches.
I'll look at it.
I think it was like a MacArthur Bowl or something.
If you talk to Ole Miss fans, they say tonight is the biggest game in program history.
It's got to be. Well, those are good teams, though. 59, 10, and 1 won the Sugar.
Passing the last game, right? When they beat Georgia, probably that.
Yeah, their highest finish, AP or coaches, is number 2 in 1959. They were consensus number 2 in the country for Ole Miss.
I mean, outside of Miami, everybody's playing their biggest game in the program history. Not Oregon. I guess they played for a national championship twice.
Yeah.
But it's getting close.
2010, 2014, and those losses for Oregon, they seemed like they left a little on the table. Here's Trinidad Chambliss, the star of the hour, the belle of the ball, the quarterback for the Rebels, on how a non-traditional power like Ole Miss is doing what they're doing. Here's Trinidad.
I feel like, college football has changed throughout the years. NIL changed that, the transfer portal changed that, and just the college football playoff changed that. And I feel like, Ole Miss being in the SEC, the best conference in the nation, you're going to get guys, and you're going to get good guys, and you're going to want coaches that want to come coach there. And I feel like it's just all changed, and Ole Miss has done a good job, transitioning with how college football is, transitioning itself.
Like everything about that kid.
Yeah.
There's a lot to like about that team. I mean, the coach is very, very likable. Trinidad Chambliss is very likable. That's why I think they're America's darling, is you look at them and they don't have a villain.
All you had to do was remove one piece.
Yeah, their villain is now in Baton Rouge. They removed the villain, and everybody's like, God, I like Ole Miss. Now, I know State fans. State fans are pulling for anybody but Ole Miss. I get it. I know how rivalries work. LSU fans are probably, I don't know, they might be torn. I don't know if they, that's a semi-rivalry, the Magnolia Bowl. I mean, their old coach.
I think they're pulling against because they don't want to discredit their coach. Like, we went out and we got the guy.
Yeah.
He couldn't win a national championship at Ole Miss. I mean, that's what has become laughable about this whole situation. I mean, that was really the reason he left.
I know, but aside from that, I think every SEC fan base is like, good for Ole Miss, man. Go win this thing. I don't think Ole Miss is hated outside of Mississippi State and maybe LSU right now.
See, I wonder about. I mean, I know that Mississippi State fans don't want Ole Miss to win it. But in the back of your mind, don't you think if you're Mississippi State, you can say,
if they can do it, we can do it.
We can do it.
I mean, Mississippi State was number one before they were. We remember back in 2015?
Yeah, and I would tell you that we saw it in our state in 2009 when Alabama won it under the modern day of the BCS and everything. What happened the next year? Auburn won it.
Yeah.
Then Alabama won it. And Auburn played for it and should have won it again in 2013. So if you're Mississippi State, I think you're hoping that, man, Ole Miss doing what they're doing, maybe that's going to rise our boat up a little bit.
And if you're State, I mean, baseball is big over there. You remember you barely got your victory lap. You won the national championship, and as you're basking in the glow, Ole Miss comes back and wins it the next year.
That's right.
I mean, you barely even got a victory lap on that thing in your state.
And I remember we compared it exactly to Saban in 09, then boop, there's Chiswick in 10. You're like,
oh, crap.
Here we go.
Yeah, barely even got to enjoy that one.
Still probably the craziest back-to-back.
State and Ole Miss winning the baseball national championship?
No, I'm talking
Alabama
about
and Auburn.
Yeah, Alabama and Auburn.
Yeah.
And then Saban came back in with 11 and 12.
Because that was our
back over here.
That was our first year together.
Yeah.
And we were like, damn, that's crazy when you think
it
about
really is.
Yeah. Charmed run by us for a long, long time. And now we're dealing with
and
portals.
still the greatest portal player ever, back before we knew what the portal was going to become.
Before it got invented.
Who was that?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
Oh, yeah. To 10. I was thinking of an Alabama guy. In 09, the big mountain of a man in the middle was pretty good with the Rogers
That's
line.
true.
Yeah, he was a transfer.
Probably don't win it with that.
But he was JUCO.
Yeah.
was.
Newton was too.
Yeah.
Blaine Community College.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
but
don't
I guess
think of it
Florida
because he
doesn't
started
win.
at Florida. Yeah.
Yeah. Coker won a national championship. He was a Florida State portal guy before there was a portal. Crazy the path we've gone. You know, it's funny. We're not saying Indiana as a national darling. I think to some people around the country, it's Indiana.
I think for some, but like I said about Signetti, hell of a coach, but kind of a weird guy. And I think a lot of people with the weird characteristics take it as maybe being somewhat arrogant.
How did you feel about Indiana's fan base? I'm curious, just being around them.
They're very – so much like the Big Ten, they take a lot of pride in academics. And just talking to a lot of Indiana folks, it seemed like they think they're really, really intelligent. And it was a pretentious fan base to never have won anything.
I kind of got the same feel. I don't know why, but there were a lot of them out there in Pasadena.
A ton. And it was pretty cool because, I left on Tuesday.
Right.
And, walking around Tuesday, I was still in Venice, and there's still Indiana fans. And I'm like, damn, do you guys work?
Man,
they were like, well, we're about to head to Atlanta.
Oh, they didn't even go back home.
Yeah, they just.
Yeah. Well, I flew out of Burbank, and that airport, it's not a big airport, buddy, it looked like Assembly Hall in there on Friday, the day after the game. We had done the show, and I drove up to Burbank to fly home, and, it was, and they all had their gear on. They're nice enough people, but boy, they seem confident
They
to
do.
have never accomplished anything.
It was, and I don't know how many of these clips went out. I never saw any of the clips that went out, but it was like, we're not only going to win the game, we're going to win the game going away, which
they were right.
did.
Yeah.
They did.
And then I was like, well, after this Rose Bowl, are you guys playing with the house money? Oh, no. No. Yeah. We're back to college football playoff. We're going to win it all this year. And it was like 9 out of 10 think that they are going to win it all.
It felt like their historic basketball confidence just carried right over to football. Like we know we've never won anything, but we were really good in basketball back then. We're just going to be that confident in football now.
I've got Bobby Knight's ego right here, but I'm going to be a little nicer than him. Here's the quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, talking about a different than the fans. They keep that underdog mentality, and they're feeding off of that. Here's the IU QB.
I would say that Oregon's a fantastic team. They're a national powerhouse. And although that we beat Oregon, it shows that we are still the underdogs. At that point, we were for sure the underdogs. They're ranked above us. However, we're trying to keep that underdog mentality going into this game. As, we might be ranked higher than them now in the college football playoff seed, but it's a neutral site right now. It's a neutral site. They have fantastic talent on their team. Like I said before, draft picks, star-studded all across the board, offense, defense. And so we're really just trying to have that underdog and hungry and humble mentality.
You cannot tell me that guy's going to be the number one overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner. That seems like a guy that gets excited about rolling a 16-sided die.
Dungeons and Dragons. Here's the
what an analogy.
Here's the vibe he gives me.
Kirk Cousins?
He's nerdier than Kirk Cousins,
and his mannerisms.
Yeah, how you like me now?
Yep.
You like that? Isn't that what he said? You like that?
But, I mean, he's one of those guys, like, you feel like you draft him, he's never going to get in trouble.
No.
He's always going to do the right thing.
Hey, we're out of milk over here on the...
I'll go get it. You're a first-round draft
He
pick.
milked the cow.
He's got the money to buy the cow. Fernando Mendoza tomorrow night for Indiana and Oregon as we go to the playoffs. Portal and quarterback news as we continue on here, brought to you by our friends at Central State Bank. Brownie, tell us about Central State Bank.
It is a bank that is big enough to meet every single need you have, but they are also small enough to know you because they are a community bank and they are here to serve their community, that community of Central Alabama. For more than 100 years, they've been serving you. Built trust, they did, by staying true to what matters. Personal service, local decisions, lasting relationships. Proud enough to be large enough to serve you and meet all your needs, but still small enough to know you. Rooted in community, driven by relationships. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
What if I told you had two guys that hit the portal, and today they're visiting Ohio State, according to On3 Sports?
I would say you had two pretty good players.
Yeah.
Is that what you'd say?
I don't know who they are, but you got two good players.
Quay Rusaw, James Smith, Alabama portal departures, visiting at Ohio State today. Both Carver Montgomery guys who have been at Alabama, and Alabama fans, when Rusaw hit the portal, Alabama fans were like, hurt a lot, and the numbers just...
Well, and Yonce Pierre basically took that spot and ran with it, and I think Alabama fans are like, okay, I think Rusaw can be a hell of a player. Now, James Smith, a little bit different. We talked about this on Bama and Bourbon. The edge he brings that team.
The meanest guy on the team,
yeah,
I think.
and you need that. I mean, you really, really do, and especially when the perception is Kalen DeBoer is soft. This is a soft team. You need guys like James Smith. Now, Alabama fans didn't get upset. Well, they got upset, but it wasn't like they were personally pissed at Caleb Downs. I mean, that literally was a business decision. And I think so much of that, there was a transition with Nick Saban going out that it kind of got lost in the shuffle.
I don't think Alabama fans, if Saban had not left, I don't think Caleb Downs would have left.
I would agree with you.
And so most people sort of wrote that off.
Like he signed to play with Nick Saban.
And then Nick's gone. And then, and this may be
And by the way, it
stupid.
worked out for Downs. He's going to be a top 10 pick, won a national championship.
Yep, and he's now going to the NFL. He declared that yesterday. I also think that Alabama fans, when he left after Saban changed over, see if I'm wrong about this, instead of him going to Georgia, he went to Ohio State, and they were like, okay, he at least went out of the conference.
Well,
if he'd gone to Georgia, that would have been really hard to keep liking Caleb Downs.
And that's what I was going to say about Smith and Russo. I think if you're an Alabama fan, you'd prefer them end up somewhere like Ohio State. I'd prefer them not be in conference because they're good players. I mean, I don't want the good players that I've recruited and developed now I have to also beat and block. So I'd rather you go to Ohio State than go to Georgia or to LSU or to places I'm going to have to play in.
And based on this, like you've seen the potential a little bit. They're scratching the surface. But, Caleb Downs was outstanding day one. But these are guys that have so much potential, and if they go to a Georgia or they go to an Ole Miss and then they become all-conference, then you're like, damn, how did this happen? You just expect if they go to Ohio State, they're going to be really, really good. Yeah. But it's not as big of a problem if they go out of conference.
Yeah, but only see them in the playoffs at that point. That's a little of the portal news going on. 4 Downs today being brought to you by our great friends, Brownie at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Alexander Shannara, the best in the business. People were wanting to, maybe replace Shannara's billboards with a great Alabama player if they were going to make a run, maybe a Ty Simpson on the billboard. No, you're not going to do that. Alexander Shannara delivered all the way through January.
That is right, and continues to deliver for more than 25 years. Shannara.com, Shannara.com, Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case at Alexander Shannara, and you can see more by visiting whatever your legal needs, Shannara.com, Shannara.com. He's recovered more than $2 billion for his clients, and you can be one of those very easily. Simply go to Shannara.com for Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys, Shannara.com.
First down.
All right, so I haven't done 4 downs since since we had our holiday break. So
I haven't. I'd forgotten all about this, to be honest with you. I was expecting LT to roll it out here.
What's one new thing you learned about one of your family members over the holidays?
Oh, jeez.
My son's more independent than I thought he was.
I know my family pretty well, Tyler. I don't know that I learned anything new. My nephew wants to go to Georgia. When you think Georgia Tech, he lives in Georgia. You think Georgia Tech, what do you think?
Engineer.
And my brother is an engineer. And my nephew wants to go to Georgia Tech. I was like, oh, that's a great engineering school. Yeah, doesn't want to do engineering.
Forestry.
No, I think he wants to do finance. I'm like, okay, well, good for him. He'll make a lot of money there.
It's good, great school.
Yeah, just in Georgia Tech. I think engineering, and my brother's an engineer. And I was like, well, he's following his dad's footsteps. Huh? No, has no interest in being an engineer. Doesn't even really like math.
My nieces and nephews like me more than I thought they did.
Well,
I learned
good.
that.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
I always thought it was lukewarm, but they liked me more than I thought they did. So that was good. I enjoyed that. I enjoy my time with them these days.
I learned that I think Leighton really appreciates my passion for the Rams.
Oh,
I mean, she got me the
really?
coolest, the coolest Christmas gift. It was a personalized history of the Rams told through the LA Times.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
It had like custom pictures of me in there, and just, I mean, it was.
Oh, wow.
She put a lot of work into it, and it really, it was really, really awesome.
It had custom pictures of you in it?
Yeah, it had a picture of me with my.
That's a really neat gift.
Had a picture of me when I was 8 in front of Silver Springs, this place in maybe
that song.
Ocala, Florida. I don't even know where it is, but I had my Sears Rams gear on head to toe.
Time cast a spell on you.
I learned that my dad hates 6'7".
Oh,
Every
dad hates it. Every dad.
I don't understand it. I don't understand why it makes him so mad, but I thought it was funny.
Do you continue to say it in front of him to upset him?
Yes, of
Phil
course.
Pot tried to work it into the broadcast.
Oh, that's the worst when these announcers are like trying to do it.
Second down.
David Bowie would have been 79 today. Better career, David Bowie or David Hasselhoff?
David Bowie's dead?
No, he's been dead.
For about 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would say David Bowie for sure. I mean, as far as credibility.
In Germany, the Hoff, I bet.
Yeah,
he's
probably
huge
Hoff in Germany.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look at what Hoff's done. I mean, just terrible music, terrible show with Baywatch. Knight Rider, I never saw it. I know kids loved it. But David Bowie, at least, I mean, artistically had a lot of credibility.
Was Bowie in a group ever?
No, but he did do a song with Mick Jagger.
Okay.
And Queen.
Yep.
And then the famous Christmas song with who's the old cat he sang with there? Oh my gosh, I can't say his name.
Is that the one that Do They Know It's Christmas After All? Is that him?
No.
Tony Bennett?
Yeah, it wasn't Tony Bennett.
That's always a sad song.
That was Live Aid, I think. That was a fundraiser.
Yeah.
I kind of like that song. Bing Crosby, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Scott said
Bing Crosby.
Thank you, Scott.
Third down.
What's the most old guy yelling at the clouds comment that you have or complaint?
I hate 6'7". Your dad would say that. Old guy yelling at the clouds. I thought of one of these the other day that I had.
I mean, my Rose Bowl. Of course, I talked to people in their 20s that were pissed off at the Rose Bowl.
I was about to say, that's
kind of a universal thought now.
Yeah.
Bitch about the weather.
Yeah.
Boy, the LA weather.
Boy, it was terrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
The airport. I will tell you this, man. Travel etiquette is done. Like, the flight attendants are rude. The passengers are rude. The plane smells. Southwest absolutely sucks. Dude, you want to get me on a couple of rants, we can go.
I haven't noticed.
I prefer Delta. They give you the Biscoff cookies.
Yeah, I mean, like Delta.
Those are good.
Delta seems to have it dialed in. I don't know what Southwest used to at least have this. They were friendly and it was cheap. And now you got neither one of those.
By the way, Charlie says even In-N-Out Burger had to cut out order number 67. Honest truth, on my way out of town, I stopped at the In-N-Out Burger near UCLA's campus.
Remember we did a story on trash.
We
You
did.
might not have been
We
there,
did.
but-
No, I was here, and this is why I was paying attention. My order number was 58, and I'm like, we're going to get to 67 while I'm here. Order number 65, and I actually picked my phone up to start recording to see what. Order number 66, and about 2 minutes later, order number 68. And I'm like, they literally skipped 67, don't they? And there were not like a bunch of kids and they were ready to yell, but they.
So you did get in and out. I didn't get it this
I got
trip.
in and out, yeah.
For me, it's I'm a impatient driver. I don't drive fast. In fact, people who ride with Brown think I drive slow.
I love that I'm always the measuring stick on this.
What I can't stand, and my drive to work is literally 8 minutes, so I'm not on the road a lot. So it's a right turn, and then it's a right turn for me, and another right turn, and then I turn left into the parking lot. So it's 3 rights. So I stay in the right lane, and I don't care if we're going 20 miles an hour. Oftentimes we're not, though, when I'm coming in. But what I can't stand is there's nobody behind me, and I'm cooking at 60. And you're waiting to pull out.
Oh, it drives me crazy.
And then you even wait a little bit.
Yep.
You wait a little bit, and then you pull out to where I've got a hard brake.
That's right. Let me pass. There's nobody behind me. Yeah.
I may spill Forrester's coffee at that point.
Yep. I'm
Because
with
it
you.
was going to be my coffee, but then I've spilled it, so now it's Forrester's coffee.
I got you half a cup today, Scott.
And I look behind me, and there's nobody behind me. You could have waited 7 seconds, maybe 6, maybe 7 seconds, and then you could have pulled out and gone as slow as you wanted. And it's not the speed thing, because I'm in the right lane. I know it's going to be whatever speed we're going. But just don't pull out to where I've got a brake. Now, that's my old man.
Yeah, and I hate when people
I'm
get
with
on
you.
my ass because, and I figure this out. They're on my ass because they're late. They're running late.
That's right.
It's their fault.
That's
It's
on
not
you.
my fault you're running late.
Yep, that's on you.
Yep. Hey, we got Richard Hendrix. Was that 4?
Nope, that was 3.
That was 3.
Oh, okay.
Here's
My old guy yelling at the clouds complaint is the customer service chat representatives.
Yeah.
I just want to talk to a person.
Yeah,
That's-
and preferably one that speaks my language.
And I skip them. I'm like, hey, I need to talk to a real person.
Fourth down.
All right. Today, primate releases. So, what is the most... Well, let's say I'm making this one up on the fly. Sorry. What is the most dangerous animal you'd be willing to interact with?
Oh, gosh.
I'll say that.
Oh, interact with.
Very low danger for me.
Back to LT's talk about air travel. Humans.
Yeah, they're bad enough.
All right. Well, let's take those out of the list.
I mean, it's going to be very low level. I don't have.
I think I would do a shark cage dive, but I wouldn't want to do open water.
Yeah, I would do that.
Just because I would be so fascinated. By the way, the Jaws exhibit.
Was it good?
It was incredible. Brown, you turned me on to that. The Academy Museum, downtown LA, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Nothing. No, I don't like interacting with
it's
animals.
very, very low.
I like my
animals,
little
Steve.
dogs, and I don't even like it when big dogs come close to me. So
Would you pet a honey badger?
I would not.
No, I don't think so.
I would not.
No upside to that for me.
I like all 10 of my fingers.
No upside.
That is our 4 downs today. Richard Hendrix when we come back from a commercial break. Show being brought to you today by our friends at Bojangles, Brown.
You can make a bow time at Bojangles. That chicken rice bowl is back at Bojangles for a limited time. Go enjoy it for lunch or for dinner. Heavy scoop of dirty rice, the hearty dirty rice there. Big spoonful of slow-cooked Cajun pintos, layer of melty cheese, your choice of chicken. Right now it is there, hot, hearty, and yours for $7.49. Don't wait too long. It's back for a limited time, so if you're hungry, you know where to go. Drive-thru's open. Make it bow time. Richard Hendrix is next.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Oh, watch out, lady. What are you doing? Oh, boy, come on, man. Shawty just destroyed my whip.
Say no, man. You need to call Alexander Sonara, man.
What the hell? Yeah, Alexander Sonara trial attorney. I heard they get you paid quick, fast, and in a hurry. With 500 attorneys. And staff holding it down for clients they've represented in 50 states. 659-777-7777. Or Sonara.com. Alexander Sonara trial attorney suing the insurance company, not the individual. Call me, Alabama. Legal services provided. Or any other provider.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness. Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
We started the show talking about Alabama dropping their first SEC loss last night to Vandy, who is still unbeaten. Still 6 unbeaten teams in the country, 96-90 last night on the stage in Nashville.
Richard Hendrix, SEC Network and ESPN with us now from the hallowed halls of Coleman Coliseum is where we find Big Richard. What is up, Richard? How are you, buddy?
Hey, doing well. Back on the call, getting ready for the game of women's basketball for Alabama side. So glad to be with you guys.
Let's start with the other side of that game last night that Jim just brought up in Vanderbilt. I think we had all waited to see them play a high-level team. They looked the part last night. I mean, this Mark Byington had as Nate Oates pointed out, it obviously, made the clips for them. They had not played the best schedule. They finally played a really good team last night, and they showed that they belong, I thought.
Well, they definitely belong. And I was courtside able to check out the action, and Vanderbilt definitely looked strong. Mark Byington is a very poised and organized coach. He's confident. He's done a great job at building programs, whether he's been at Georgia Southern or at James Madison. And he's been able to do things here at year 2 in Vanderbilt. And they had a really good game plan last night. I thought that Tyler Tanner was terrific. His first step to create some separation caused some problems. But Alabama played some good basketball well. To be able to outpace Vanderbilt with the shot attempts and then out-rebound them as well, and have a chance to really win that game with some injuries and down a few players, I thought was still impressive. This is still a really strong team, but Vanderbilt showed how good they really are.
So I'm going to ask you a question that Nate Oats basically brought up. I mean, how in the heck do you get full body cramps only playing 19 to 20 minutes like Labaron Philon got last night, and we didn't see him for the majority of the second half?
Well, I couldn't tell you. I mean, I don't know if I ever had that, but I was thinking, some old school remedies. You just need to get some mustard. Mustard always seems, I don't know why it does that with cramps, but you give a little quick shot of that, and on the sidelines, that stuff seems to go away. But I thought that was a big difference with him not being on the court, because with his ability to score in isolation situations and the groove that he was in was really causing problems with Vanderbilt. Alabama had a nice surge going into halftime and seemed to have some momentum. But his absence in the second half was significant, as they didn't have another playmaker to create, and they didn't have the lob threat over the top with Aiden Sherrill being out with injury.
When you have a bad shooting night like Alabama did in Nashville, a lot of people blame it on the arena. You've played there, you know what it's like. How much of it was Vandy's defense or just a bad night shooting from a team that relies on shooting?
Well, I think the credit does have to start with Vanderbilt. They're a team that has really good positional size and good personnel with quickness, and they understand how to funnel people to certain directions. And they played hard and played with a lot of pride when it comes to one-on-one individual isolation situations. But I do think that when Alabama is able to space you out and get into the paint and have the lob threats over the top with alley-oops, that sucks the defense in and makes them have to concentrate a little bit more on their interior defense. And then they're able to spray it out and pick it out and find open shots. I thought it was a little bit of a struggle to get some clean looks last night in the game. And they were able to hit some late, but not enough time to be able to come back and come away with victory.
Richard Hendrix, SEC Network, ESPN, with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. This doesn't always happen. This is not a universal thing. In fact, it probably happens less now than it ever has. But there are times where freshmen hit that freshman wall in their first season. And Amari Allen has been terrific for Alabama. What does he have to do to avoid that? I mean, what causes that if you see it happen?
Well, I don't know if freshmen hit that wall anymore. I think the game has changed where you see so many freshmen get significant playing time early on. The days of you coming in the program, having to learn a system, sitting behind a veteran player, and then you finally get some minutes, and then the intensity picks up with the physicality of conference play. I think that's over. I think these freshmen come in nowadays full of confidence. They expect to contribute. I think Amari Allen is a phenomenal player who's starting to hit his stride. 25 points, 11 rebounds last night, and he had some tough baskets as he was able to drive and get to the basket, and a lot of hustle plays as well. So I don't anticipate a wall coming. I think it's the opposite. When freshmen start to really get some confidence, when you get into the new year, I think it goes to another level. You know that you can do it. He's had some success against a top-level team, and you might see his role maybe change as the confidence grows. That's how I always felt from my playing days.
So back to what happened in Neville a couple of nights ago. This did amazing back-to-back finishes for the Auburn Tigers, both losses. I'm sure you were watching A&M, Auburn, the shot that didn't count. Did ball hit rim or not? Did he get the shot off? I mean, what was your thought process in that final sequence of that crazy game?
Well, it was a situation I've never seen ever in my life that happens. But I thought that obviously Texas A&M had plenty of opportunities to go ahead and just make the game be finished, with ease. And at the free throw line, my first reaction was, if I'm Bucky McMillan, I'm just hot over the fact that the whistle was blown to stop the action. You got a little over 2 seconds to go. You don't know if it hit the rim or not. And then here's a chance that Auburn can get the ball, and there's a heave, from the other end of the court. Giving them the opportunity they can set things up really gave them a good look. Now, from my point of view, I didn't see another angle. I thought he got it off. So a lot of emotions that took place in the finals of that game. But for me, I look at how the fact that the whistle blew on that free throw attempt really changed the game.
Okay, Richard, Auburn's 0-2, Kentucky's 0-2, Ole Miss 0-2, Texas 0-2, LSU 0-2 in the SEC. 5 0-2 teams, but specifically Auburn, Kentucky, Ole Miss had some tournament aspirations. Of those 0-2 teams, which one are you still confident will make the NCAA tournament?
Wow. That's a tough one. I think just by looking at the tape and seeing how the teams look, I think I'd have to lean a little bit towards Auburn out of those three. Kentucky's having a hard time trying to figure out what their identity is. You know, they really were a team that was really good on the offensive side of the ball last year. They brought in some defenders like Mo Diabate, Denzel Aberdeen, Jalen Quaintance to try to make a difference. And maybe the pendulum has swung too far to the defensive side, and they have no flow offensively. Auburn has been able to play tough games this season. They played Houston tough. They've had 2 close SEC games. So I think that's a little bit easier to figure out about how you can come across to get a win when you're right there. And I think Ole Miss has been trying to figure out with Chris Beard, who are the guys that he can trust. He's talked about and challenged their ability to play hard. I just see that when you have to ask that question late in the season, I think that's a challenge and something that's very, very hard to correct. So I'd have to give the nod to Auburn early on for the 0-2 teams.
On the other side, is there a 2-0? And I've got one in mind. We've already mentioned them. A 2-0 that might be a little bit of a ghost right now, that maybe they're not a team that can contend for the conference title, but they've won 2 games so far.
Well, I think Texas A&M, you have to give them credit. To be 2-0 in the league.
I know.
I mean, I don't think anyone thought this was going to happen except maybe Bucky McMillan. He's full of confidence. He understands his system. He's got his players to buy in, and to get a huge road win, that stuff gives you momentum moving forward. You know, in SEC play, trying to get off to a fast start is critical because you can find yourself in a matter of 7 days being 0-3, and then the season can really be over. People start pointing fingers. You try to figure out what you're going to do to win games, and it becomes very difficult. So to be 2-0 with Texas A&M, that's a great position with a lot of momentum to be in.
If you're making a list of best players in the SEC, how far do you go down to get to Darius Acuff, the freshman from Arkansas?
2, 3, maybe. I mean, you don't go too far. That's for sure. I mean, this kid right there has been dynamic. I had Arkansas in the first game of the season when they opened up against Southern. And my buddy Ron Slay always says he sees the comparison of Stephon Marbury. I mean, he is confident. He is strong-bodied. He shoots the ball with a high efficiency rate or ability that he just feels like every shot is going to go in. And he can attack the basket and get to the free throw line. And the tear that he's been on right now to start conference play, particularly as a freshman, is just unbelievable. Josh Hubbard would be another one to see what he's been doing in conference play. But it's a lot of really good players in there, particularly at the guard position.
You will be tonight, Alabama and Kentucky. I'm correct about that. It's a top 25 matchup there in Tuscaloosa on the SEC Network.
Yes, I'll be on the call on the SEC Network Plus for Alabama women's versus Kentucky. This will be a really good matchup. Kentucky's got a strong team. They're a contender to be a SEC champion in the regular season, and Alabama's cracked it into the top 25. But this will be a major test for them. Looking forward to checking it out.
How have you not snagged me one of those hats? You know, my bald head, I need hats. I love that hat.
Hey, just let me know what else you need. I'll figure out a way to get it done.
I just want the hat. That one.
You just want you can't have this one. I'll tell you that one. This was mine. Okay. So I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, because you got it broke in or what? So I mean, just tell them you lost that one. You need another one.
I'll see what I do. I know a few people, so I might be able to get some things done.
All right. Okay. Dunaway begging for gear.
Well, I mean, I love that hat, and I love college basketball.
It's sweet. It's sweet.
Yeah.
He is Richard Hendrix at rhendrix35 on social media is where you follow him. Excellent observations away from the camera on college basketball and many other things. Richard, thank you for the time, man. Always great talking with you, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Enjoyed it.
All right, take care. Richard Hendrix with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
Nicest guy in the world, man.
He is.
I see him
Good dude.
When he's at the Alabama games and I walk in, he's always got something great to say and just always a positive dude. Love that guy. Show being brought to you by another positive guy, my buddy Greg from Pell City. He was texting me last night, and he says, hey, I want you to get out for our viewers and listeners something that may help them out, because we're getting to that part of the year, right, where some people are about to put their house on the market. And the financing that Greg has is available to you right now. If you get a report coming back as you're putting your house on the market that comes back and says, hey, you need a new roof, and the insurance, and maybe the insurance will not cover it, but you're ready to put your house on the market. Well, Greg says his financing is there to help you, so you can get that roof out and get it on there, so you can put your house on the market, sell that house, get all that money from selling the house in this market, and then you're able to pay off the financing right there. So he's got that available for you.
part of his services at Storm Restoration Roofing. It is something a couple of his customers have already taken advantage of, and he wants to remind you it's there to get that new roof available for you if you're putting your house on the market. He handles storm repairs, free no-cost roof inspection. That's just a great customer service thing he does for you. He and his wife, Andrea, own the company, locally owned for over 20 years, A-plus with the Better Business Bureau, 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531. Our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing.
The College Football Spotlight.
The Shannara Spotlight each day presented by our guy Alexander Shannara, trial attorneys. You know by now that Alexander Shannara handles personal injury cases. But what you might not know is it goes much deeper than that. Claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, a host of other claims right there with Alexander Shannara trial attorneys. Shannara.com is where you go for any legal issue. Shannara.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. With Alexander Shannara trial attorneys, they've recovered more than $2 billion for their clients. Shannara.com. Shannara.com.
Okay, the spotlight today is on the quarterback market in the portal. And I'm going to throw out two names that I'm not sure the market is what these guys thought it was going to be when they got in there.
Okay. One
of them is DJ Lagway, Florida. When he hit the market, I was thinking, somebody's going to get a pretty good quarterback. He was seen last night at the Baylor basketball game. His visit before that was Virginia.
He's hit Florida State as well.
He is good in Florida State as well. That's not the market I thought DJ Lagway would be swimming in.
Yeah, I mean, look, but it's a weird time in college football. If he gets paid enough money, and, Virginia was, they were right there to get to a college football playoff this year. Baylor's had some good years before. They've had a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback in RG3 before. Who did you mention?
Florida State.
Obviously Florida State. I agree. It seems like a downgrade, but
Florida State had Ashton Daniels in too, so they are. I would go DJ Lagway over Ashton Daniels.
I would too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would too. I thought Lagway was. When he hit the market, I thought, he's going to end up at LSU with Lane Kiffin.
If you'll remember, when he hit the market, I think we talked about LSU, and we're like, now here's the bad part about LSU. They saw maybe his worst game in their stadium. He had 5 interceptions. But I think he's got.
That just proves he's good at throwing it to LSU receivers.
That's what somebody said somebody said that in the chat. They're like, well, he can hit LSU receivers. I said when he entered the portal, I think he's got a tremendous upside, and if he'll go to the right place, somebody will make him into a star.
Here's one that's going to blow your mind, though. Okay,
what?
You ready? Because you haven't thought about this guy since he hit the portal. Because it appears to be no market for him right now. If I'm right about this, I don't know if he may have committed it, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brooks and Forrester, but Dylan Raiola.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard his name mentioned at all? Is he out there still?
Nope. But, he had the season-ending injury, so I don't know how that plays into it.
Yeah. Where have his visits been? Do you know?
I don't know.
I'll Google it.
I just scribbled it down when I was throwing the show together right before the show, and I was like, God, where's Dylan? Has anybody heard Dylan Raiola's name?
All right, Sports Illustrated, $2 million quarterback, strongly linked with 2 major football programs. Dylan Raiola is the guy, $2 million, first of all. I'll dig into the story and tell you who they say. Former Nebraska quarterback is in the transfer portal. Raiola, good Lord, just get to it. If you put him in an environment like Miami or Oregon, the analyst says. So he's linked some with Miami and Oregon. Now, that's just an analyst.
There'd be some downgrades for both of those programs.
Well, Miami has, they're about to play in the semifinals, but they downgraded from Cam Ward. That'd be another downgrade. I don't disagree.
Yeah, you're talking about, what is Raiola's, what is his overall record? We're talking about a quarterback that's 15-3 against ranked teams, and then we're talking about a quarterback that went number 1 overall just last year.
Man, one of these things has a projected Ohio State. They see a different Dylan Raiola than I saw.
Yeah.
Well, his uncle was the offensive line coach.
Right.
Yeah.
And got fired, so maybe he surfaces wherever his uncle goes.
There's no need to get emotional about it, Brooks.
Sorry,
He's a little choked up.
My throat there.
We caught you in lunch, did we?
I would say.
Well, I've clicked on 3 articles about him, and Oregon gets mentioned in every one of them.
Well, they do. If Dante Moore is going to leave, he's the projected second quarterback off the board in the draft. So maybe that's why you've heard nothing about it. Maybe a deal already done, and they're just waiting to get through the playoffs. Because the 2 you named, Miami and Oregon, are
or playoff teams. I mean, Ohio State, Julian saying, why would you go there?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
I mean, you're going to be a backup.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, as we talk about the transfer portal, the single biggest move in last year's transfer portal at the quarterback position was who? Trinidad Chambliss. I mean, you didn't know it at the time.
And Fernando Mendoza.
Mendoza's big, obviously, but I mean,
Heisman Trophy
Trinidad,
winner, number
yeah,
one,
but
favorite to
I
win the
mean,
championship.
that took. But Indiana was already at that level. Now, I mean, Mendoza kept them at that level, but Chambliss, without him, I don't think Ole Miss is there.
I mean, Chambliss, but Mendoza to win a Heisman Trophy, to have them at 14-0.
Trust me, he's accomplished. But Trinidad Chambliss, without him, Ole Miss is not there. And I guess you could say the same of Mendoza, sure. But I mean, nobody. When Trinidad Chambliss came to, we didn't even talk about it when he came to Ole Miss. I mean,
nobody knew who he was.
Exactly, and that's my point is just because, the moves like Sorsby getting $5 million get all the headlines. All right, I'll go one better then. Last year, the year before when Indiana got, give me the kid's name.
Curtis Rourke.
Curtis Rourke. Did we ever discuss that?
No. I mean, we mentioned it.
Yeah, I mean, it was freaking Indiana football. Who pays attention? So my point there is a lot of times the ones we don't even talk about end up being massive. Maybe Raiola ends up somewhere and somebody unlocks him. I don't know. I never saw it at Nebraska. It feels like at Nebraska, you're watching a guy that's just trying to be Patrick Mahomes. Like he's a Patrick Mahomes cover band, and Nebraska let him play on their field. I mean, everything he does, he tries to look like Patrick Mahomes. Except play. Yeah.
Except win games.
Except win games.
According to On3, Alabama's hosting a Mercer defensive back today, Carmella O'Neal, a guy to keep an eye on. Also in the mix at Auburn, LSU, Kentucky. Horatio Fields picks Missouri, according to reports out there. The Auburn receiver is to that Missouri path there. And it's funny how when there's controversy, sometimes there's always some characters that are always in the mix for controversy. A guy named Cordell Landers. He's one of those college player agents or influencers, agent hanger-ons. He's not even the agent for DeMond Williams, but apparently he is the guy who had the biggest voice and input in DeMond Williams turning his back on the $4 million Washington deal he had signed to basically put his name in the market again to go possibly to LSU.
Okay, we were signing off yesterday. You brought up that DeMond Williams and Jed Fish, the head coach at Washington, have the same agent. Is this guy?
No, it is not.
Okay.
But Cordell, no, they got a big agent. I don't know if it's in the Jimmy Sexton realm, but it's big agent, same agent like that, same coach agent as that.
If I'm Jed Fish, I'm getting me another agent if you take my quarterback and send him somewhere else.
No doubt about it.
But I believe Jed Fish's agent is the one that worked out the $4 million deal, and this guy's the one that influenced him to go back on that deal. Cordell Landers he had influence on a quarterback last year who turned his back on a deal and went somewhere else. Who do you think it was?
Oh.
Was this his client, or did you just add
This
influence?
was actually his client. DeMond Williams is not
Jackson
even his
Arnold.
No, it was Nico Iamaleava.
So this guy.
Boy, and how nasty was that? The timing, just
how
everything
much money
about it.
did he lose?
Yeah.
What a track record this guy has.
Yeah, and what's Nico going to do this year? Is he back, or did he hit the portal go somewhere else?
I think he's back at UCLA.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw Bob Chesney, the new coach there at the Rose Bowl. I don't know what he looks like, but there was a dude at the Rose Bowl that looked similar to what I thought Chesney looked like.
Could have been a Citibank representative.
Could have been. I don't know, but he was wearing all UCLA gear, and he was hanging out in the suites area. He's a good offensive coach, obviously, so maybe he can get a little more out of Nico if Nico were there.
But it's fact he made less money at UCLA last year than he was going to make at Tennessee, and this guy convinced him to leave Tennessee, hit the open market, and ended up at UCLA. This guy's convinced DeMond Williams to, hey, that $4 million at Washington with a coach that loves you.
Yeah.
Maybe get out there.
Let's see what else is out there.
Yeah. That, according to reports on Cordell Landers. I don't know any of his other clients. He may be cashing checks for a bunch of people.
We've had a bunch of coaches tell us agents are the issue here because you've got a lot of agents that in the NFL, again, we explain this a lot, but the NFL, you can only represent a player if you're approved by the NFLPA. You have to go through an approval process to even be able to represent a player. College does not have that. Any Joe Blow can represent a player. And they know they only have him while he's in college because they're not NFLPA approved. So I got to get the juice for the 2 or 3 years I got him in college because I don't get him in the NFL. And that's when you start making bad decisions.
According to reports, Cordell's not even DeMond's agent. He's just maybe an
it sounds like he
advisor
wants
there.
to be.
Hey, and he may end up being brilliant. I mean, if he gets $6 million and is able to play, that's $2 extra million, and that's great advice.
Yeah, but at the same time, you are burning so many bridges. Like Nico, the bridges that he burned and the situation he put Tennessee in.
I got $2 million. I can build a new bridge.
Love can build a bridge.
I don't
LT,
know. I think it's a bad lesson though, man. You have locked it in. You have signed your name. You have given them a commitment. You're getting $4 million to play college football.
And now $6 million, and Jed Fish probably would have taken the Florida job if he had been offered the Florida job.
Oh,
His
he
name
would
was
have.
rumored.
There's no doubt.
Would have taken the Michigan job.
And guess what? Williams would be probably a Florida Gator.
He probably would be right now. Yeah.
All right, top of the hour. When we come back, Dan Orlovsky is part of the next segment of the show. He'll join us in about 15 minutes to talk NFL playoff time. Football happening tonight, playoff time for that. Hemphill keeps you running hot or cold when you need that heating and cooling system. Also plumbing, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah, worst thing that happens, you got a plumbing issue in your house. You want it taken care of so quickly, and that is where our friends at Hemphill Services, they come into play. Trust the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954. Dunaway mentioned the heating, the cooling issues, but again, the plumbing. When that happens, you immediately want it taken care of. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Follow LT on Twitter @TheLanceTaylor.
We interrupt this program for breaking news from the gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resources, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the next round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete.
Visit one of their 2 locations today in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well done service.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Final hour of the show brought to you always by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. That is Sterling right there, with the one with the hat on, the good-looking one. Sterling there, he owns the place, man, over a decade right there at the same location on Highway 119 in Alabaster. I call it a destination lunch location. Why? Because it's the kind of place that if you got a business meeting or a family get-together, or if you got some Yankees in town that want to taste some good Southern food, it's a great place to go. It's just off I-65 and the Alabaster exit there on 119, basically a mile, less than a mile off the interstate there. And if you're heading to the beach, back from the beach, to South Alabama for any reason, leaving South Alabama, going to the north, you can go by there and stop en route. Chicken brined overnight, cooked to order, piping hot, juicy to the bone. The hand-cut chicken fingers are just so good. The Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, in-house made sides, it's all so good. And it is fantastic service and a great atmosphere. Champy'sChicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Dan Orlovsky in just a second. College football semifinal game tonight, Ole Miss, Miami. Lance has a play at lanceslock.com. This is one of those games that I feel like Miami wins, and I'm cheering for Ole Miss. And I wonder, as a fan, do you, as you watch a game and you don't have a team specifically that you are a fan of, do you, and for you it's usually a pick or money, gambling, but if you don't have anything on it, do you find yourself actually watching a game, or do you watch a game and root for a team?
I root for a team. I mean, there are some games I just watch, but like tonight, I'll be rooting hard for Ole Miss.
Me too.
It's a Southern team, SEC team. I know Ole Miss fans. I just think it's a really good story. I like Pete Golding.
See, that's me. I'm all in on Ole Miss, cheering for them tonight. I want them to win.
And I think people want to pour salt in the Lane Kiffin wound.
I agree.
Because Lane Kiffin is one of those guys that cares so much what people think.
Yeah.
Cares so much. And this is just beating him up because he's been pulling against Ole Miss this entire run.
Yeah.
I don't care what kind of money LSU's paying him bonus-wise. He does not want Ole Miss to win these games. And, boy, it clinches the vice on Lane Kiffin the more they win.
Now, tomorrow night I'll just watch.
Oh, wow. So no favorite in
Indiana,
Oregon?
I don't have a rooting interest for either Indiana or Oregon. I like Kurt Signetti. I don't hate Dan Lanning. There's just no rooting interest there for me. Two Big Ten teams. It's not an SEC team, so no rooting interest for me there. I'll just watch that one. Now, outside of Lance's lock, would you have a rooting interest in Indiana, Oregon?
Indiana.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Oregon for me. I sort of like Dan Lanning.
Yeah, I mean, Lanning's okay. There's something about Oregon, like they're kind of pretentious to their fans.
A little bit, and they've never won anything.
And they've never won anything, so I kind of want to keep them at bay.
I actually
can you imagine if we've got an Ole Miss Indiana national championship, by the way?
That's crazy.
Literally one of those video game national championships that the computer played out. I'd be like, it's so unrealistic.
Yeah. I know. I was just quickly going to say, I literally I came across some video highlights of the Ole Miss Georgia game, and I was in transit from the Rose Bowl, so there was a lot of things I missed. So I just kind of watched the package. And after the made field goal, they were scanning the crowd and just seeing like men, groups of guys and families hugging one another, just to see that joy. And I know every fan base will have that, but Ole Miss never won anything, man. Just to see that level of joy.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, Ole Miss still has had that passion. We've all been to the Grove even when they were really, really bad. And, you know, Indiana fans weren't showing up. And when we have Dan on here in the next 5 minutes, you know, I was watching him earlier this morning where he was talking about a game he called in November of 2022. And it was in Bloomington, Penn State, late November game. And he said there wasn't 5,000 people in the stands. Like, he was getting his cell phone out, recording to send it to his wife, and they used some of that footage this morning, and it really is amazing. Like, these Indiana fans, you can say they've been starving, but they didn't go to games. Ole Miss fans went to games.
Yeah, they do. They pack it out. They don't always stay, but they pack it out over at Vaught Hemingway. Lane Kiffin, the villain, of course, through all this. I got 5 villains in recent college football history. Lane greater than or less than villain-wise.
Okay.
Nick Saban was perceived to be a villain by most, but
he's less than because he's the greatest to ever do it, and people hate teams that are winning that aren't theirs.
But I think Nick Saban was villain but respected. And I don't think people respect Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
That's the difference there.
But that's going to be less than.
Yeah.
Almost same vein, Urban Meyer.
Yeah, man, we're talking about great coaches.
All these coaches are going to be
okay. Yeah,
really good.
They're villains because they're good?
Yeah, the national championship.
I'm not asking who the better coach is.
Yeah, I know. I get that.
To be villains at times.
I think people hated Urban Meyer, and Urban never showed them anything that they're like, okay, I don't like him, but that's funny. I think at least Lane does some things like, I don't like him, but that was a funny tweet, or I don't like him, but he said something funny. Urban Meyer never did that. Urban Meyer just seemed completely, totally unlikable as a coach.
Well, in that vein, then, Steve Spurrier. Villain?
No, Spurrier was a villain, but I think people loved his sense of humor.
But a much better sense of humor than
oh, yeah,
Lane.
yeah. When you weren't playing Florida, I think you laughed at Steve Spurrier and the stuff he said. Now, if you're playing on that week, you hated him.
Jim Harbaugh.
I think
little different now after the cheating scandal,
but he didn't really achieve the greatness to the last minute of his career at Michigan.
I think I might go less than. I think Kiffin might be less than Harbaugh.
I think Kiffin's more than Harbaugh.
You think more?
Yeah, I think Kiffin is. I don't think Harbaugh was ever the number one villain in college football. Lane Kiffin's that guy now.
Yeah.
So of all the 4 I named, Lane Kiffin greater than?
No, not the Nick Saban or Urban Meyer, but I think he's greater than Jim Harbaugh.
So Lane is not a bigger villain than Nick or Urban?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Just because they were so dominant.
The last one is the guy Lane actually replaces, Brian Kelly. Vilified in this game at times.
Yeah, but still, I think people were just like, God, that guy's such a dick.
Yeah, nobody. Again, Lane, in spite of being a villain, has some likable qualities. I think. I don't know that Brian Kelly does. Have you ever seen a likable quality out of the guy?
Not necessarily, but I don't think people just think. I don't think anybody was like, man, this guy's a piece of shit. I think people think Lane Kiffin is a piece of shit.
It's a terrible thing to be.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people believe that.
No, I don't disagree.
Dan Orlovsky in just a second. Oats brings you part of the show. Tell us about Oats.
Hey, great place to go. Get ready for the semifinals tonight. 6:30 kick, Miami, Ole Miss. You want to take it in. You can take it in with great food from Rodney Davis. Those ice-cold beer buckets full of Bud Light. The Oats famous cup cocktails in those styrofoam cups. Live music tomorrow night. Saturday night, get in and see Will Haver and that great staff. 2 locations. The newest in Edgewood, the original location in Crestline, Birmingham Institution, it's Oats Tavern.
Okay, so this is really interesting, by the way. I do think the fact that Mark Cuban, we talked about it yesterday, a $6 billion man, now that he's contributing to the NIL at Indiana, that makes them less of a Cinderella story, you know what I mean?
Oh, this is it for them. Yeah. Next year.
As far as being a Cinderella?
Yeah, they're going to be considered one of the powers of college football, and nobody will be pulling for them. They'll be pulling against them.
The world seems so big at some points, but obviously he's an Indiana guy. Signetti's coaching there. Do you know that Signetti and Mark Cuban were born in the same hospital 3 years apart.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's older?
I would guess Signetti.
I think Signetti.
Yeah, but Cuban's always been older than you think.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 years apart. Pittsburgh area. The Pittsburgh area hospital. Same hospital 3 years apart.
I mean,
and now he's, as Cuban says, the portal people are a lot happier this year than they were last year, thanks to me.
Cuban has got a lot of his money because of Indiana athletics. It's nice that he remembers to give back. I mean, for those that don't know the story, broadcast.com was one of his early ideas, and the whole reason he did that.
Cuban's older.
Cuban's older than Signetti? I'm surprised at that.
How old is Cuban? 67.
Mark Cuban is 67?
Wow.
He's a young-looking 67. I'll give him credit. Money will do that for you, won't it?
Yeah, he can get that.
$1 billion.
You get that $1 billion blood.
Looking good.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. So no, he's I think he was living in the Dallas area at the time. He wanted to follow Indiana basketball. This is back when all the games were on TV. He's like, man, if only I could listen to him on the radio over the internet. So he goes to Indiana, and I'm like, sure, you can stream. I mean, this is when schools were like, yeah, you can stream our stuff. We don't care. We want listeners everywhere. And he made all the money off of it. The schools didn't make the money. And then he ends up selling that to Yahoo and gets a cut of Yahoo, and the rest is history for that guy.
Well, you think about it. He now that he doesn't really have the affiliation with the Mavericks, and he loves to be super fan, are you going to be surprised if he's got a suite at all the football games and he becomes the Cody Campbell for the Indiana Hoosiers? And I mean, he loves being in the spotlight.
I don't know how much he has donated in this recent report, but he's got Cody Campbell money. I mean, I think Campbell's net worth is $17 billion, if I read correctly. It's a lot of billions, by the way, 17 of them.
I mean, after one, you lose track, right?
Really, who really cares after that?
Funny line before Orlovsky joins us. Funny line from Dan Lanning at the media day availability for the Indiana-Oregon game tomorrow. The Oregon head coach said it was really cool. This is from David Ubben, who covers college football for The Athletic. Dan Lanning said it was cool arriving at the hotel with his family last night, preparing for one of the biggest games of his career. Said he told his kids, look around, kids. If your dad was a dentist, you wouldn't be doing this right now, end quote.
That's pretty good. I like it. All right, Dan Orlovsky joins us. He does it every week to talk NFL. Where do we want to start with, Dan? You guys had some college questions. Y'all want to go college first with Dan?
Well, I mean, we bring up the fact. Okay, yeah, real quick. I was sharing your story that I saw this morning where you were in November of 2022. You were in Bloomington. You were calling a game with Penn State and Indiana, and you were talking about how bad that crowd was. I mean, this is an amazing turnaround, but just go back to that moment, and I don't think you were, like, embellishing. You literally said there was 5,000 people there, right?
Yeah, because the reason that the story came up in my mind, I vividly remember taking a picture from the booth, which in stadiums, the booths are up higher in most stadiums. And that's actually a pretty decently sized stadium at Indiana. Taking a picture of the crowd right before the game, sending it to my wife and being like, this sucks. You know, 'cause that was in a time of my life when I was working every day on studio shows and then flying and doing a college football game somewhere. And more often than not, our games weren't so good games. So I'd just taken the picture being like, yo, this is brutal. There's no one even here. And in that game, the starting quarterback for Indiana had entered the transfer portal the night before and still started. And just they were terrible. I mean, they were terrible. And it was just triggering my mind of, oh my gosh, that was 3 seasons ago, and now this is one of the great teams of the last generation and certainly one of the great coaching jobs. They're going to potentially win a national title. Like, it's just shocking to see how quickly they went from so bad, no one, to so good.
The way we got connected with you was you did a Birmingham Bowl back in the day. This back when we were still in radio. It's how long ago it's been. Do you remember who was in that game? Do you remember the Birmingham Bowl you did?
Yep, it was Missouri. Gosh, who was the other team? Oklahoma State?
Oklahoma State, maybe. I don't know. I can't even remember who plays in that game every year. Was it at Old Legion Field? Had they moved to the new stadium yet? I think it was still at the Old Legion Field, right?
No, it was the old field, yeah. And I remember it was a cold, kind of damp night. That was when Drew Lock was at Missouri. I forget who was at OK State. Yeah, but that for sure was the game.
Okay. Boy, I see people never remember all the things you have to do to get the jobs you have in the studio now.
Yeah,
when you're sitting there, get up, man. You just I love college football, both of the things you just described. And I live in Birmingham.
I know, we
and
live.
even the Birmingham Bowl sounded bad. And I didn't go to that game because it was sucky weather. So thank you for your service, Dan Orlovsky.
And of course, now Dan joining us, I'll be the one that catches this wearing a pullover from a top probably 25 golf course in America.
Yeah. There we go.
Seminole. It's a heck of a course. Have you played it, Dan?
I have played it, yeah.
How good is that
last
place?
Year. It's awesome. I mean, just on the water, the front nine and back nine are so different. It's a little bit intimidating showing up because you're like, remember when you were growing up as kids, your parents would have like the dining room or the living room where all the fancy furniture was.
Yeah.
Don't touch it. It has a little bit of that feel, at least was for me. Like, all right, dude, get out of the cart, play golf, don't mess it up. Don't say anything stupid or do anything stupid. Hopefully you can come back.
That's my whole life, yeah.
Well, didn't they play something during COVID?
Yeah, they did a
Tiger
yeah,
made
the
for
match.
TV.
Yeah, the match.
Yeah, I thought so. That was a beautiful course. I think that was the big deal when we all watched it because I'd never seen the course.
Yeah, it's pretty private. Dan's
It's sick.
living high.
You got to be a really elite coattail rider to get onto that place, and that's what I am.
Okay, so
watch your toes. Dan's dropping names.
We transition to NFL playoffs, which start Saturday. First game, Rams head to take on the Carolina Panthers. We saw the matchup about 6 weeks ago where, flukish fourth down, Stafford throws a pick six. The Rams were a double-digit favorite in that game. They ended up losing, so Carolina can be dangerous. How do you see this one playing out? It's going to be 95% rain, by the way.
Yeah, the Rams are a better football team, and clearly. And so, that credit Carolina. There was a very finite formula in that game that they would have to follow to pull off the win. They did. Remember, that was the game where ran the ball a ton on early downs successfully, fourth down conversions. I just don't think you can mirror that again. The Rams should be able to run the football. Derek Brown's playing at a very high level, but run the football. Don't give the football away. Be better down in the red zone. It'll come down to the Rams defense on early downs. They have to play better. Hopefully they do continue to play better. Force this game to really be on their terms, not the Panthers' terms, and really on, put it on Bryce Young's shoulders and force Carolina to throw the football well in that rain over 4 quarters against you.
Hey, before we jump into all the other games, because I don't want to forget to ask this question. Ty Simpson's going to the NFL. I know you've talked some very raving reviews about Ty Simpson throughout the year. Your thoughts of him going in and what you think he'll be at the next level?
I was surprised that he chose to come out. I thought he would go back. I think just as far as throwing the football, he's in the Dante Moore conversation when it comes to purity of just spinning it, just being able to throw it. I think he's going to end up getting himself into that first round conversation. There's no doubt about it in my mind in that regard. I think there's 6 or 7 teams right now that clearly need a starting quarterback or a young starting quarterback. I think the biggest question mark for him is going to be the size conversation, the size question. How much of that is going to scare teams or not scare teams. I had talked to people who were down at the Rose Bowl who said it is a little surprising to see him in person, how not big he is. And I do think that's going to, be at least a conversation for teams.
Yeah, he doesn't blow you away when you see him without pads on. We've all seen him without pads on. He doesn't really.
Well, he's listed as 6'2", 205.
Yeah, 6'2's probably.
If he's 6'2", 205, he's a first rounder, no question.
Yeah.
But he's not.
I'd say that's a bit generous. Yeah.
I used to be 6 foot when we started this show, Dan. They whittled me down to 5'10" and a half.
Keep
they dragged you down?
Yeah. They kept giving me the honesty pill over here.
I said on social media, Dan, that as I look at the bracket, I would only be stunned by 2 teams making the Super Bowl. That would be the Panthers and the Chargers. And a lot of people said, I can't believe you didn't say the Steelers. Some said, I can't believe you did say the Chargers. How many teams in this bracket would stun you if they're in the Super Bowl?
Carolina, the Chargers, and the Steelers. The Steelers just aren't explosive enough on offense, and there's just a small way they have to play. They have to be very efficient. and then create one-on-ones. Chargers, I actually think, have a good chance to win on Sunday night, but the offensive line is just not good enough and healthy enough to hold up over the course of playing 3 really, really difficult football games and 2 probably high-end defenses to get there. The Panthers, they're just not talented enough. Great story that they're in. They're just not talented enough. Other than that, I wouldn't be shocked if Denver found a way to keep games close and was clutch. I wouldn't be shocked if Buffalo went on a run or Jacksonville continued to play hot. I wouldn't be shocked if New England and Drake May continue to play at a very high level. Houston, I actually think should be a favorite. And the same in the NFC. The Rams are loaded. The 49ers, because the offense can score. I know the defense is beat up, but they can score. Philly's defense is elite. The Seattle Seahawks have the best defense in the conversation, along with Houston and Philadelphia. So I wouldn't be surprised at really anybody else.
The most fascinating matchup to me this weekend is that Buffalo at Jacksonville matchup, the first game of Sunday. Jacksonville, as you said, is on fire right now, but the X factor is Josh Allen. And no Pat Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson out there looming, no Joe Burrow. I mean, if he's going to get to a Super Bowl, it seems like everything is wide open, although the AFC is kind of bunched up. That matchup, do you take the red-hot Jacksonville Jaguars, or do you play what you know and Josh Allen in that one-game situation?
Yeah, great football game. I'm picking Buffalo. Jacksonville's pass game is as hot as anybody, certainly quarterback. Buffalo's got a great secondary, very coverage-centric. And so I think that's going to be a good matchup. People consistently point to Jacksonville's run defense and how good it is. And yes, it's a good unit. They have not seen anyone remotely close to Buffalo's offensive line and or James Cook in their ability to run the football. And the last part I would say is this. I just don't have a ton of evidence of Josh Allen playing 2 stinkers in a row. Last time we saw him on the field versus Philadelphia, it was a stinker. He just doesn't have that kind of as a track record over the past years of his game. And so I great game. I got a lot of love for Jacksonville, what they've done. I'm going to go with Buffalo.
When's the last time you've been to your Wikipedia page, Dan?
I don't know if I've ever been to my Wikipedia. Years, maybe. Why?
Yeah.
What do we got?
I'm just saying the picture that's there, I did not put it there, but you're in a Buccaneer uniform. I just wanted to point that out. I'm a huge Bucs fan. You're there. It says you're 42 there. There are 5 coaches, most of them in the NFC, that are younger than you that have playoff teams. That's pretty crazy how young some of these successful coaches are, huh?
Yeah, I think it's part of like the offensive element, the offensive innovation that is attached to a lot of those guys. And just, I think their ability to be a little bit more message centric and communication centric to the players of nowadays, right? This is a new era of athletes that have been ushered in from the high school of 10 years ago, college of 5 years ago into nowadays, and the way that teaching and the way that learning it certainly feels a little bit differently. And obviously great coaches, very intelligent, and to see what they've accomplished already, and let alone kind of what's on the horizon for them, is very impressive.
True or false, if I am a team that has fired their coach, or I'm a fan of a team that has fired their coach, and I recently have joined this group as of today's show, Dan, as a fan of a team that has fired their coach.
Yeah.
I should want John Harbaugh, his brother. I should want John Harbaugh. True or false?
Oh, true.
I mean, why
John
would you
Harbaugh's
not?
a great coach.
Yeah, why would you not?
Yeah, I agree. Unless you're like, well, he doesn't win enough Super Bowls with great players. And that's what I said about the Ravens element of it. Like, there's no way anyone can tell me right now it's the right move for Baltimore. It might be years from now, because you find a coach and you reestablish a new identity and you do go win 2 Super Bowls. But Harbaugh is a great coach, and there's just not a lot of great coaches. I mean, there's some really, really good coaches, but a great coach, an accomplished coach, is very hard to come from and find in the NFL. So yeah, if you're Miami, if you're Atlanta, if you're the Giants, any coach, any organization that has an opening right now, it has to have Harbaugh near or at the top of the list.
So, Dan, most people believe the most complete team in the NFL is not playing this weekend with the Seattle Seahawks. I think they probably are, but it's kind of hard to say they're the most complete team in the NFL with Sam Darnold at quarterback. Is that fair?
I think it's fair in the realm of if you are one of those people who's like, you got to do it in the playoffs for me to believe it. And I can understand that. I think that Sam's proven to play really good in really big games over the past couple years. He obviously did not play up to the level in the final 2 games of the 24 season in Minnesota. I think the most complete team in the NFL is the Los Angeles Rams. That's my perspective. But yeah, I mean, I think Sam, what Sam did on that Thursday night game versus the Rams, and then the way he played against San Francisco and just was very clean. I do think that on top of the body of work over the past 2 years, it just gives you the belief that, yeah, you can go do it. And there's a reality where people want to see him do it in a win or go home situation.
So, Dan, we love you to death, one of our favorite guests, but how you confused our city with Memphis. I went back and looked. It was the 2018 Liberty Bowl. Oklahoma State 38, Missouri 33.
But he did a Birmingham Bowl. I remember. That's why he was on the show. But you forgot the teams.
Okay. You gotta remember that was probably like a time when I was doing like 5 bowl games too. So
yeah. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you,
I'm not that smart either.
Yeah, there's some similarities.
Yeah.
Birmingham.
Well, let me
I was gonna say, aren't they like an hour drive from each other?
No, it's about 3.
Yeah,
3.5. Yeah,
same thing.
I-22
Barbecue, jazz history, the Liberty Bowl, Legion Field, not that far apart.
Great airport.
Yeah.
Great airport.
So I'll never forget. We had Dan on. Like, you go to ESPN and you're like, hey, Dan Orlovsky's doing the Birmingham Bowl. We're in Birmingham. We'd like to have him on because Dan was starting to blow up at ESPN. And we brought him on. We thought nothing about the Birmingham Bowl. It was like all Alabama and stuff like that. I'm sure Dan was like, oh, they were talking to me about these 2 teams.
I'm sure I asked him.
That's how it goes.
I'm sure I've asked him something like, hey, when's the last time we looked at your Wikipedia page, Dan?
You play for the Buccaneers?
And he was like, yeah, I'll keep doing that show.
Hey, so do you think Miami or Ole Miss tonight?
Yeah, to start the day, I was like Miami, and then as I was doing Get Up this morning and thinking about it, I was like, there's just something about for athletes when they get told you're not good enough or doubted. There's just something about it, and I think we've seen that play its way out for Ole Miss, and the pettiness of it. I'd also say this: Miami's strength is Mesidor and Bain. Chambliss is like, I think, run around, tire them out. I do think it plays its part, and they're going to take their shots, and you don't have to hit all of them, but hit a couple of them. And the storyline, I'm going to pick Ole Miss.
Yeah, it's a great storyline. We think they're America's darling.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Our video coordinator.
They're the Cowboys right now. America's team.
Our video coordinator, Forrester, and I were texting the other day when you were on McAfee because obviously he's a colleague and gets 1 million plus more views than we do. But we noticed you had pulled over while you were picking up your dry cleaning, and you had lighting and everything. We were like, God, that's a good-looking shot from Dan there.
Dan, meet Jim.
Yes.
No, I'm just saying, it looked really good.
That was luck. I got to go get my dry cleaning too much nowadays because too much TV time, but that was luck with the lighting. I think it was a decent day in Connecticut. We don't get many of them this time of year.
Fantastic.
Here's Dan Orlovsky, NFL playoffs all weekend. Thank you so much for the time. Enjoy the games, Dan. We'll see you next week.
All right, guys. You as well.
All right, buddy. Take care. Dan Orlovsky with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
I was perfectly lit. Had a great internet connection. That was a great run there, too. I don't think he was driving in the city today.
I don't know.
That looked like he was driving in the country.
Same studios I see him in on all the screens before he joins us, so I don't know what he was doing.
Looked like he was driving in the country today. Not a city drive today. God, he's so good. Here's the picture I sent Forrester.
It does look a little different.
It's good. I'm not going to lie. I do like the dry cleaning in the back, though.
Yeah. Hey, and by the way, I instantly thought to myself when I saw that, I was like, God, I love that moon roof, the whole big, what's it called, panoramic?
Yeah, but some of those don't open. You only get the actual roof, but it doesn't. You get the glass part, but it doesn't open. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand that, but I do
like that.
I do like the whole thing. So at that instant, I was like, is that a pickup or is that an SUV?
I think it's a pickup.
I think it's an SUV.
I think it's an SUV.
Go pickup.
But Brown's right. The back window makes it look like a pickup.
Yeah, you see the slide window in the back?
Yeah.
That's a pickup
Oh,
window.
yeah, that is a pickup.
Yeah. It's a large pickup.
Yeah. I like that. But is that called panoramic roof?
Yeah, it's a panoramic roof.
Yeah. That's a good look. That's a good look there. Yeah. That's what I noticed more than the lighting. And then the lighting, I was like, oh.
I bet McAfee wouldn't recognize golf course logos on a pullover like I did very quickly. We've got that on McAfee.
No. Yeah.
Does that blow you away that I can look at a
Yeah.
Well, especially, I mean, it was just a dot. I mean, your eyesight's horrible.
It's not up close.
Not
is
up
bad.
close,
Yeah.
but that was at distance for you.
Yeah,
Not over here distance, but over there distance.
Top 100 golf course in America. I'm probably going to recognize the logo. Yeah. Weird thing about me. I get it. Most people don't know that.
I mean, my goodness. He could have had a hot dog before he hit with us and dropped a ketchup dot. That's what it looked like to me over here. The show brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Speaking of eyesight. We'll get to more on the game tonight and trash in the next segment. Tell us about Michelson.
Look, no exaggeration. I had the 2200 vision. I had no idea I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. Went in, got the procedure done in 2003. 2015 vision, better than 2020. I've still got it more than 2 decades later. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business, 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
We interrupt this program for breaking news from the gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resources, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the next round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time. It's bow time.
The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time.
Trash in a second. New York Butcher Shop for the big games tonight and tomorrow night. Go by and see Jim at the two locations, LT, and get some steaks to grill.
I just got off the phone. I am going to see Jim later today because I'm picking up some steaks for the game tonight. Cannot wait.
You call ahead?
I do call ahead sometimes, yeah. I get them dusted, and I try to find out where Jim is because there's two locations, Cabo Heights, Highway 119 and Greystone. Love to catch up with Jim when I'm in there, but I will be picking up a couple of steaks. I'll figure out the sides once I get there. I'll figure out the desserts once I get there. I'll figure out the wine once I get there. But it's a one-stop dinner shop. Again, two great locations, full of those great butchers and Jim himself. Rare quality, well-done service. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
Okay, the game tonight. Let's see. Did anybody talking about the actual game? Calendar, Pete Golding.
Well, I bet Pete is tired of talking about Lane. I bet he'd love to talk about the game.
Portal, Cristobal. Nobody's talking about the games, man. Chambliss's case for another eligibility. There's so much with the calendar and the portal and all of this stuff going on. Don't you feel like we spend less time talking about the actual games on the field than we used to?
We do. Well, again, everybody talks about the screwed up college football calendar. The fact that the portal is open right now is just stupid, but I don't know how you fix this.
I mean, there's got to be a way to fix it.
Well, the way you fix it is you end the season January 1 and the portal opens January 2 like it did this year, but the season's over January 1. There's a push for that now.
Yeah, but see,
I don't know if I'm for that, though.
Yeah, me too. I didn't want to get into a discussion with Pate when he was nice enough to be on with us about that the other day, when he mentioned that, and I know Klatt has mentioned that before. But I don't want January 1st to just have one game.
Yeah, and that's one thing. And then think about, Lance, you were out Monday when I pointed out way back in July or August when this schedule came out, we pointed to this week. And we were like, man, look at that. You're going to have semifinal game Thursday night, semifinal game Friday night, NFL playoffs Saturday, NFL playoffs Sunday, NFL playoffs Monday. That is going to be an incredible weekend. I don't want to lose that either. I'm with Pate, though. I do feel like we've been in the college football. How long ago does that Alabama-Oklahoma game seem?
Oh, the Alabama-Indiana game seems a long time ago.
Think about the Alabama-Oklahoma game. That was before Christmas.
Yeah, and look, and even in tonight's game, once we get to it, the big storyline is going to be Lane Kiffin. It's going to be off the field stuff.
Yeah, to me, though, if we just – and everybody's got a solution on how to fix it. Most semesters end what? The first week in May, end of April?
I think first week of May. I think that's right.
First week in May. If we did not start any on-the-field football, no spring football, no spring practices, you can do weight room and all that. If you didn't do any of that until May, June, and July OTAs, and then you start your camps in August like you always do, into July, August.
It works for the NFL.
Boom, short, boom, play games.
I mean, look, it's equitable because everybody's doing the same schedule.
Yeah.
And again, it works for the NFL.
And then nobody has to, the portal doesn't have to open until later.
They got to figure something. I mean, that's got to be the number one thing. It's not NIL. It's got to be the college football calendar.
The only reason the portal opens right now is because of the academic calendar.
That's right.
If we can ever just say, guys, look, we pretended for 30 years that the academic calendar mattered, and it doesn't anymore, then we'll be fine.
Yeah, see, I get the academic. That's past the semester, so the academic calendar is not at play here.
I mean, look, you
don't have to be on another campus until after the semester.
Back to your point there, like literally, if you walked in the locker room tonight of Miami or Ole Miss, and you said, show of hands, how many of you guys have been in a classroom this semester? Do you think it would be more than half?
No, because most of them take it virtual. Yeah. That was the word I was looking for.
But they're at least there for the start of it. I mean, they're the start of the virtual class. I get it. I don't think academics are that big of an emphasis anymore. I understand the world we live in.
Do they even still have academic All-Americans?
Couldn't tell you.
They do.
Okay.
When's the last time you've seen a player miss a game because he was academically ineligible? I mean, can you remember that? I mean, you can remember it in the past, right? Yeah, so-and-so is academically ineligible for the bowl game.
Coach is really worried about grades. I mean, he's got to hit the books, man.
I
we're not gonna have him for the fall.
remember the last time a player was academically ineligible for something.
Yeah. And here's a twist. The last thing before we get to trash. Number 4, Mario Cristobal. Cut number 4, Tyler. Mario Cristobal. He gets asked about concerns that players in the transfer portal are being contacted by playoff opponents for intel. Okay, so it makes sense?
Yeah, so if I'm in the portal from Ole Miss.
Right, that people are contacting him.
The people on behalf of Miami are like, hey, tell us everything about Ole Miss.
Yeah, here's Mario Cristobal on the world we've created.
Did you guys have any concerns about, say, outgoing players from your program, maybe rival programs or in the semifinals or elsewhere, reaching out to them, trying to get even intel on your own programs as you try to win a national championship?
Well, I think it happens all the time, and if we don't think it is happening, then we're kidding ourselves. But quite honestly, I don't blame the players. I blame the adults. We created the system, right? We're supposed to be setting the example, right? We're supposed to be setting the standard as it relates to everything. So when you create a system that has as many holes as it does, well then, shame on you if you're surprised by some of the results that come with it.
Yeah, Mario Cristobal there.
He has dug himself out. I mean, away from those comments, he's dug himself out of a little bit of a hole with the resources he's had at Miami getting this far. They're favored tonight. But here's a number to look at. As Miami's head coach, he's 4-9 when the Canes give up 400-plus yards. And when you look at this Ole Miss offense, they just went 473 against Georgia. They went 480 against a good LSU defense. They went 431 against a good Oklahoma defense.
I'm going to the stats to see the last time they were held under 400. Do you?
Well, I think it was the first matchup against Georgia in their only loss where they went 351.
I mean, I was going to say it because they're the leading offense in the SEC, Ole Miss is.
And I think that's because they put up 17 yards in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, this fourth quarter completely fell apart. I mean, so I would ask you guys, do you think Ole Miss goes 400-plus tonight?
Yeah, in fact, Lance, they have gone over 500. Well, let me rewind. They've gone over 600 more times than they've gone under 400. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's how prolific this offense has been this year.
Yeah, so I think that's something key.
That's a lot to ask.
To take a look at.
Yeah.
I personally believe that Miami, with that in mind, will try to move at a different pace than most teams do.
I mean,
huddle up.
I mean, Mark Fletcher, dink and dunk from Carson Beck. He's only turned it over, after the SMU loss, they're on the 6-game winning streak. He's turned it over one time in those 6 games.
Yeah, I mean, if Miami wins tonight, don't be surprised if, let's see, who's on the it's Laura Rutledge. She's got the Ole Miss sidelines tonight. Going into the locker room, Pete Golden saying, well, we've only had the football 2 times. So they're doing a good job of keeping it away from us. We got to take advantage of our possessions, and we're down 10-3, and we've only had the football twice.
Yeah. That is not going to be a fun game for everybody to watch if it's 10-3 at halftime and Ole Miss has had the ball twice.
No, I would agree completely.
I lean the over. I didn't, I got a side on this, but the total, I lean the over. Everybody's screaming under on this one.
Yeah.
Fowler and Herbstreit tonight? Do you know? Yeah, something tells me Herbstreit's doing both games. Fowler and Herbstreit are doing both games. Could I be right about that?
I don't think you are.
Okay.
I mean, sadly, I know who's on the call for the Rams and Carolina.
Who we got on that?
Oh, we have got Joe Davis and Greg Olson.
I like that group.
And Pam Oliver
That's
on the
who
sideline.
the Dolphins had Sunday.
Sean McDonough.
I hope we get Sean McDonough
tonight.
Well, either night. I just want another Sean McDonough game.
I think it could be Fowler, Herbstreit, Laura, and Holly.
I think Herbstreit is there for game day today and then is flying to Atlanta. I think I saw him discussing that on social media. So I bet you get McDonough and McElroy today.
Yeah. One of them has one of the games, and the other obviously has the other. I can't remember. I thought Laura was with the Fowler crew. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I can look it up
while we do
Nah,
trash.
You don't have to. I'll see it when it comes on.
Trash is brought to you by Gutter Cap today. Tell us about Gutter Cap.
Yeah, cap it, don't snap it. One of the dirty, dangerous jobs out there is getting on the roof and cleaning the gutters out. Don't do it. Call our man Chris Stewart, 205-823-2212. Get him to come out, give you that absolutely free estimate. You'll never have to get on the roof again. If you get on the roof, you slip, you fall, snap the neck, and die. No good to the wife or kids. Cap it, don't snap it. 205-823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
Did you hurt your hand?
It's large. It's large. I was able to get the whole thing in my mouth, though.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our friends at Bud Light. You guys ever go to Trader Joe's?
You know, this is funny you brought this up. We were doing some Christmas returns, and my college-age daughter loves Trader Joe's. So while we were up there at the summit, they went in and got a few things, and I was in a different store right next to it. So I walked in to find them, and it was the first time I'd ever been in a Trader Joe's.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maggie Dunaway goes once a week.
Does she?
Yep.
They got some good stuff.
Yeah,
we get our almond milk from there. We get our granola from there.
Yeah.
We get our sandals, our Jesus sandals from there. I mean, all the California granola stuff from there.
Pirate's Booty.
Yeah, Pirate's Booty. They got that fresh cut flowers. My wife says they got the best fresh cut flowers out there.
I wore it out in 2020 because we went on a wine kick that
$3 chuck.
$3 chuck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad. I'm not even going to admit how many bottles we drank over the summer of 2020.
I think you've said it on the show before.
I don't know. I really can't remember now. I know the wine rack was full twice.
That's what happens.
It was that much.
Yes, that's what happens.
But Trader Joe's, their canvas tote bags, which retail for just $2.99 in the United States, are being listed for as much as $10,000 on resale platforms, highlighting how the once practical grocery item has become a global status symbol in cities like Seoul, Tokyo, London, and Melbourne. I don't know if I believe this, Tyler, because I would go, this would be my side hustle. I would just go buy a bunch of these bags and find a market in Seoul or London or Tokyo and sit on the side of the street and sell these things.
Yeah, I'm going to go through the sold listings later this afternoon, and depending on what, the average sold price is and how frequently they're selling, I may be making a pit stop on my way home.
I'll tell you, I'm going to go with the $1,152.20 a month with Klarna when I buy mine.
Oh, yeah. With that 39% interest?
Yeah, what are you paying monthly for these Trader Joe's bags?
Now, the grocery chain headquartered in Monrovia, California, has sold reusable bags since 1977, but its canvas micro tote bags have surged in popularity in the recent years. Now, with the simple branding and durable design, the totes have gained a devoted following both domestically and abroad. While shoppers in the U.S. often queue outside stores ahead of openings to secure limited drops, the bags carry even a greater appeal overseas, where there are no Trader Joe's locations. Now, made from a heavy-duty blend of 65% cotton and 35% polyester, the totes are frequently compared to similar offerings from brands like LL Bean and Land's End. Now, one eBay listing currently offers Trader Joe's mini pastel tote bags for $10,000. There's another seller that has a Trader Joe's Spring 2025 mint green mini pastel canvas tote bag limited edition at $49,999 that you see right there.
The keyword is or best offer.
Yeah, OBO.
I will take $45,000.
Can I just point out that if you could sell these things for $49,999, you know who would be selling them for that?
Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's.
Now, they said they are not condemning or...
But you know what they're not doing, Lance? They're not selling them for $49,000.
Not condoning or supporting the reselling of the products.
But to my point, they're also not selling
but if you
them.
could just get $100 for these, I mean, I would go out and buy them in bulk.
Yeah.
I mean, they're $3 each.
Yeah.
You are checking. You may go buy Trader Joe's. I will be looking at our house when I get home to see if we have any.
If Maggie's got them stored away.
Because I guarantee you, because she does not do plastic or sacks, so we have 1,000 bags of. I don't know if they're Trader Joe's, but we have groceries that she brings in all the time. I'll see if we got Trader Joe's, and she will be two less if we've got two of them at the house. I will have to queue up the kids to say, hey, how can we sell this? What's this website?
That would be an eBay listing.
Oh, eBay. Somebody in my house has an eBay, I'm sure.
This is another one of those.
Depop is also good.
It's another one of those things where you're all going to laugh at me and say I was stealing something, but it's an honest mistake. we were in California, not the previous episode. When I was out there with my family, we went to Ralph's. You remember?
I thought it was okay out there, though.
Ralph's? What, Steely?
Yeah, Steely.
You don't go to jail. And I bought something, and it asked, how many bags for like $2. I was like, I don't want any paid bags. I'm just taking these plastic ones. So I just put all the crap in and hit 0, and I walk out with like 6 bags. And Jennifer was like, my God, you paid for 6 bags? It's like, no, I didn't pay for any of the bags. I just got these. She goes, those are the ones they're asking you to pay for. And I'm like, these are plastic bags. I ain't paying for a plastic bag. I came to your store.
It really is stupid.
Oh, it's insane. Yeah. Like, I came to your store. That's enough. I'm not paying you for the bag.
I would have
rang myself up.
Asking you how many bags do you want to pay for, it'd be like one of the tote bags.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I'm like, I don't need that. I just got these plastic bags.
And the key is want. I want to pay for no bags.
Yes, that's going to be 0.
Right. My desire to pay for bags is 0.
I told Jennifer, I was like, not only did I ring it up, I bagged it myself. I'm sure not paying them for the bags.
Tyler, I cannot wait to see still shot or video of this next one. An avid game collector has put their haul on display in a rather unique way by building their very own GameStop in their basement.
Oh, wow.
Now, for some, collecting games is all about ticking every single box, ensuring you possess every game available on a certain console, for instance. For others, it's more about how the collection is displayed. I told you about Selling Superman. Did you ever watch it?
I did not get a chance.
Okay, it's a documentary about this dude that inherits his father's comic book collection, which is over 1 million items. And he's got like the coveted Superman #1. But this comic book collection is worth $15 to $20 million. And he just inherited it out of a garage. But it's just amazing to see like some of the setups from some of these collectors.
That is something else right there.
This guy described it as a, quote, once-in-a-lifetime passion project. The basement now displays all manner of gaming hardware and software from over the years, showcased much like you would find at a local GameStop. A Reddit post, December 23rd of this past year, quickly turned heads from the flooring to the shelving. This unique collection was on display in a way that closely resembled a GameStop. Explaining their process, one that took, quote, all summer, collector outlined how they've been buying games and gaming products since the late 90s. And while the physical goods are part of the fun, they also share a love for the spaces that are associated with many of the items.
Scott brings up a good point in the chat. The guy's got a sweet Killer Clowns from Outer Space collection down here on this side.
Boy, he does.
He's got the popcorn gun. He's got all the masks. He's got
gosh.
the bat.
Really like that one, didn't you? Yeah, who doesn't, Scotcher?
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
You've seen it, right?
I've never seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Don't even know what it is.
No idea.
We got a local story. Woman is in jail after police say she robbed a Chick-fil-A in Leeds, then apparently used the money to gamble at a casino. Dunaway, when you were doing late night news, this would have been a big story.
That might be a lead story right there.
Yeah.
Police were called to the restaurant on Asheville Road January 2nd. Officers say Quadja Haynes, 32 years old of Birmingham, used mace while in the drive-thru and told an employee to give her the bag with the money in it. Can you imagine one of those little teenagers serving you a chicken sandwich and you get maced in the face?
My pleasure. Here's the bag.
Yeah, this is almost island-worthy. The employee did so, and police say Haynes left the parking lot driving recklessly, putting other employees' lives in danger. Detectives were able to track her location to the Wind Creek Casino in Wetumpka, presumably with gambling money from Chick-fil-A. Now, Haynes was arrested with help from local police and the tribal police after colliding with several trees during the pursuit. You can see it didn't end well here, but she was charged with attempting to elude, unlawful possession of a controlled substance, resisting arrest, and unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia.
Several things come to mind for me.
Okay.
How did you get that deep in the sticks?
That's tough.
If you're threatening me with mace,
close the window.
I would just close the window.
Yeah. Or sometimes at Chick-fil-A, the sliding doors.
Yeah. Or just step back.
Yeah. I'm not going to hand them the bag of money, I don't think. If they've got a gun, Jim, it's going to be a different game.
story.
Yeah, different game.
Secondly, I don't know why I thought of this, but let's say my buddy Mike, who's an insurance guy, if she's avoiding the police and the car ends up like that, we don't have to pay for that, do we?
No, I think you're on the run from the law. You're off the hook insurance, yeah.
I think I'm not going to pay out on that one.
Now, look, she strikes me as a pain in the ass, but like even the mugshot, she won't open her eyes.
Yeah, nope, not looking at you.
Hey, can I provide a little context on the drive-up window?
Yeah, sure. That sandwich looks good, by the way.
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah?
That I'm at multiple times a week.
This is your local Chick-fil-A?
Yes, it is.
Go ahead.
Wow.
That was,
What was that?
That was the local sound Rockstar used to do.
RTD4 was asking for it in the chat.
So this particular Chick-fil-A, there is no drive-up window. Like, it's the employees come out to the car.
Well, this is an even dumber plan, Scott. Now they got to go back in and get the bag of money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I guess she's just trying to take whatever that,
Oh, she's got
basic
the little
car hop-
satchel. Yeah. Gotcha.
They each
gotcha.
have that.
I'm going to say she didn't plan this well.
Yeah, probably not thought through.
Is that the fender laying closest to us?
Yeah,
it's
I believe
either
so.
a back or front bumper.
Yeah, that's going to be the front. I think I see a headlight.
Damn, I mean, she jacked that
She
thing
did.
up.
I'm like,
it's like it got dropped out of the sky.
Listen, that was Dukes of Hazzard at one point. She left the roadway
No,
in
but
the air.
Literally,
Yeah.
if you're like a tornado hit Alabama, here's some of the.
Yeah, I would believe it.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Finally, Kentucky man facing felony charges after police say he attended the birth of his child, then allegedly fled the hospital parking lot in the baby's mother's car, leaving her stranded just hours after delivery.
I mean, part of me's like, all right, good dad. He was there for the birth, but then, holy crap.
This is Christopher Millett, 37 years old, of Tomahawk, was arrested Saturday night following an investigation into the reported theft at Pikeville Medical Center. According to local authorities and court records, police say Millett went to the hospital to witness the birth, but was not permitted inside due to visitation policies. The child's mother, identified by officers as his ex-girlfriend, reportedly allowed him to sit in her vehicle to stay warm while she remained inside of the hospital. Now, after the birth, Millett allegedly returned the car while the mother stayed behind at the medical center. When staff later expected him to come back inside, he was nowhere to be found. Woman soon discovered the vehicle was missing and contacted police. Investigators reviewed hospital security footage, which allegedly shows Millett initially entering the passenger side of the car. He was then seen exiting the vehicle, moving into the driver's seat, and driving away from the hospital. Mother told officers she attempted to contact Millett by phone. He allegedly answered but told her it was none of her business where the vehicle was, and he was hanging up. Authorities later located Millett roughly 45 minutes away from the medical center where he was taken into custody.
Several people in the chat room are like, maybe a DNA test later on the baby clears some of this up?
No.
Okay. You don't think that's
it's not a husband, first off, so.
Yeah, but it might not be the dad either.
Is that Pikeville, Kentucky?
Yeah, it is.
Oof.
Rough area?
Well, he had meth on him, by the way.
He
One
did.
little thing
I
left
agree
out.
with Morgan in the chat. He says, nah, he just went for a meth break.
Meth break?
Yeah.
That was a good hit.
Morgan nailed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way to go, Morgan.
Well, his full username is Morgan in Louisville. So
Yeah.
Is that close to Pikeville?
Trust
saw
me.
him and read him.
Louisville and Pikeville, nothing alike. Pikeville used to be one of those schools Transy would go play on the road. So it was good. All right, that is Trash Today, brought to you in part by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling and the crew there. Enjoy a great lunch or dinner. Perfect take-home to watch the big game tonight. Yeah, get some chicken fingers, take them home, and enjoy Ole Miss and Miami as they play. We'll break that game down tomorrow on the show and talk about Indiana and Oregon. It is Fowler, Herb Street, Holly Rowe, and Laura Rutledge tonight on the ESPN coverage starting at 6:30, which means GMAC and Sean McDonough has the game tomorrow night.
Good. Yeah, at least we'll get them once.
Yep. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.